NHL hockey action here on Primetime Sports. I'm Barry Johnson along with Jim Hennessy here at Harbour Station in St. John, New Brunswick. Jim, we got the Albany River Rats in town tonight to take on the hometown St. John Flames. Flames coming off a 3-2 overtime win last night over the Quebec Citadels. What should we see here tonight?
Well, a real good game. The Flames clinched the playoff spot with that win last night, so it's going to be interesting to see whether the Flames keep that intensity up. 8 games left before the playoff party starts. Sean Mathiel getting the start tonight. That's a good move on Rick Vive's part. Jaguar hasn't been playing up to par since he's been called back down from Calgary, but Mathiel needs to work. Got to get him in between the pipes, see how he makes out tonight to keep him active. And we've got to see if the Flames can keep that intensity heading into the playoffs. If they go into a slump, it's going to be a long, long road into the playoffs.
Watching last night's game against Quebec, Jean-Sébastien Giguère played 2 periods that were absolutely terrible. Last 10 minutes of the third period, he played sensational. Looked like the old Giguère we used to know here. But he's just been really fighting the puck lately. He let in a real soft goal. The first goal was a real soft one. Second one, I don't know, maybe the defense let him down a little bit. But Giguère, obviously, he's not playing the way he should be. And Quebec should have taken 2 points out here last night, but didn't. Matthew Garon played great here last night. But we got the Albany River Rats here tonight to take on the St. John Flames. And a notable name in the lineup for the River Rats tonight is Sasha Lakovic. You want to keep an eye on this character, folks, because you know you read about him in the news. He's just one wild character.
Former St. John Flame, he returns to Harbour Station for the first time tonight. Albany no slouch, boys. They're fighting for a playoff position as well. They want to get in there and make sure they mix it up and scramble it up. Get busy on Mathiel early because he hasn't played in a couple of weeks. So the more rubber they throw at him early in this game, chances are they're going to give them a good run tonight. So the defense, goaltending for the Flames, those are the key elements to watch in this first period.
Sasha Lakovic should have a great time here tonight running people because Rocky Thompson is not here anymore now. He's gone.
Down with Louisville now.
One notable name here tonight, and who was here playing here last night, he scored the overtime winner, was Rob Concannon. He got his first goal as a Maple Leaf against the Flames, and he scored the winner here last night. A great call-up. He's number 21 out there. Keep an eye on him. He's a real nice player. Last night he was playing with Fata and Graton. We'll see where Vi puts him here tonight.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, ironically enough, he scored his first professional goal against the Flames. Then he comes back to help them out last night. So, yeah, Rico Fata's really got to pick up his game, and it looks like Concannon could be the player to help give him the spark to help this team and help Fata make that leap into the playoff run.
Coming up will be the Albany River Rats and the St. John Flames, but first the national anthem, and then we'll take it to Aaron Kennedy and Steve Ryan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through a perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rocky red glare upon bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh,
the Flames get set to take on the Albany River Rats. The Rats making their one and only appearance of the season here at Harbor Station. These teams have already met earlier in Albany, and the River Rats prevailed 3-1.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, really the bottom line with this team is kind of down, but you don't take them lightly. Flames really have to get on these guys early. You don't want to get behind like you did against Quebec last night. Certainly you came out on the top end of that, but really the bottom line is put this team away early, do it by hard work, and we're looking for a big game from Rico Fata. Use those great wheels on this. As you mentioned earlier, not very many regular defensemen in the lineup here tonight, only 2 for the River Rats, so certainly it should bode well for the St. John Flames forwards.
And only one of those 2 defensemen has actually been here all season. That's Sasha Goach, who starts here with David Maley, who's the oldest guy in the game. He's 36 years old. Tim Peel has the puck in his right hand, and this game is underway. The Flames control. Chris St. Croix plays. That game when he was suspended by the team as the team was boarding the bus and heading south, and then he actually suited up for a team in the Fish and Brew League under an assumed name.
He's a beauty.
Sheptak from the face-off gets the puck to Benoit Graton. It's knocked away by Lakovic. It comes to John Tripp, and he'll turn and flip it down ice. Not enough on this one for icing as Nerling is back. He's pressured by Shelley. Shelley up front with Graton and Tripp. Dagenet brings it the other way for the River Rats. He'll fire it in. It's caught by Mathieu. He'll drop it for Jeff Staples. A minute 15 gone in the first, no score. Staples sends it off the glass. This will likely be an icing as Steve Kelly is back to pick it up. And Kelly is another one of these forwards who's helping the cause by playing defense tonight for Albany head coach David Cunningham. We get some pushing and shoving here long after the icing. Kelly was Edmonton's first pick, 6th overall back in 1995. Played his junior hockey in the Western League with Prince Albert. He was traded to Tampa Bay by the Oilers, along with Ryan Marchman and Jason Bonsignor for Roman Hammerlick and Paul Comrie on December the 30th, 1997. Then the Lightning dealt him to New Jersey for a 7th-round pick last October. So far this season, Steve Kelly has played 68 games with Albany, 20 goals, 34 assists for 54 points. He also played 1 game with the Detroit Vipers and 1 game up top with the Devils.
Yeah, this guy's bounced around. 97, 98, he played with Edmonton, Hamilton, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, and Cleveland in 1 year. So Steve Kelly's been around, and as you mentioned, Aaron, they're putting a lot of points back there on defense tonight, but once again, circumstances say that you have to do it. Albany really hurting as far as the defensive core is concerned.
Face-off is to the right of Mathieu, controlled by Jason Bone, who left the game last night after aggravating his side. He's back in the lineup tonight, probably not at 100%. He turns it over in the neutral, in his defending zone, and a quick shot by Rob Skurlock is stopped by Sean Mathieu, and if you're going to give the puck up in your own zone, Rob Skurlock is probably a pretty good guy to give it to. He's played 145 games with the Albany River Rats, and he's scored only 1 goal.
not a marksman, you call it, but like what the Flames did last night, especially in the third period, moving the puck up the ice. Curtis Sheptak, moved it up very well, and Darryl Scoville always does. He's going to have to jump into the rush quite a bit tonight and keep that Albany defense sitting back.
Still no score. The shots are 1-0 in favor of the River Rats. Here's Brett McLean. His line mates are Kincannon and Petrovicki. He gains center and backhands it in deep. Frederick Henry is out from the Albany net, firing it off the glass. McLean corrals it, gets it to Petrovicki. Back to McLean in the right circle. He moves down low, forces it to the corner. Kincannon gets it back to McLean. McLean tied up along the boards by David Cunniff. He's the son of the head coach. McLean still battling. Cunniff tried to knock it away. It slides in behind the goal. Goach skates after it and shoots it ahead. Sullivan kept it alive for St. John. Now Goach joins the rush, brings it through the neutral zone and fires it in. Mathiel out behind the net, leaving it for Jason Bowen. 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone in the first, no score. Petrovicki on right wing. He had a goal and an assist last night. He gets it out to center. Maley plays it back to Goach to the Flames line. Sullivan knocked it away. Kincannon ahead for Daniel Tkachuk. He's got Fado with him. Can't get the puck to him. Fado with a shot now. And the save is made by Henry. There was a 2-on-1 and Tkachuk tried to pass it from left to right to Fada. It was broken up by the lone defender. But then the puck eventually made it to Fada. And he's stopped by Frederick Henry.
I'm really not sure. Maybe Tkachuk should have shot that puck. But once again, the stuff that we saw last night, Daniel Tkachuk with a couple of chances, deciding to pass off instead of shoot. And there was a complaint by a couple of his line mates earlier on in the year. He'll learn to do that, but pretty good play. Once again, good penetration by the Flames. We're going to see a lot of that here tonight, I think.
Jeff Williams plays the puck ahead for Lewis. He's a Nova Scotian native. He'll fire it in. Mathiel is out behind the net, nearly bobbled it. Luce's after the puck. He has it down low, now into the right corner. He turns it over to Botterill, and he'll feed it ahead for Fata on the right wing. The pass is just behind him. The trailer is Tkachuk. He comes up with it and sends it in. 3 minutes gone in the first period. No score. Each team with only one shot. Fata along the right wing boards gets to Daniel Tkachuk in the corner. It's taken away by Maley, loose in behind the Albany net. Botterill skates after it along the left wing boards. He gets it now to Tkachuk. Luce takes it away and backhands it ahead, but not out. Fata moves it for Tkachuk. His pass is picked off, and Lewis will skate with it through the neutral zone. He got spun around by Tkachuk. Tkachuk has the puck. Can't get it to Botterill at the Albany line. Delayed offside against the Flames, and play is stopped by linesman Bobby Jones. 3 minutes and 24 seconds gone in the first period. There is no score. These teams met earlier this season at the Pepsi Arena in Albany, New York. That was on January the 12th, and the River Rats prevailed 3-1. Albany has had tremendous success historically against the Flames, leading this all-time season series with 9 wins, 3 losses, and 3 ties. Here at Harbor Station, Albany has won 4 times. The Flames have 2 victories, and the other game was a tie. Here's Nerling, dumping it deep into the Flame zone. This will be an icing as Staples gets there ahead of Lakovic, and he does. 16:25 remaining in the opening period. Score at Harbor Station. The Albany River Rats haven't played since last Sunday when they lost 5-4 to Providence. They bust as far as Waterville, Maine on Thursday, then made the rest of the trip yesterday morning, practiced here at Harbor Station yesterday afternoon. And they'll be heading home after the game. That's a good 10 to 11 hour trek on the Shaker.
That's a long haul, and really not commit to the AHL or anything, but once again, the scheduling is just absolutely abhorrent in this league. And once again, the River Rats coming up to play 1 game in this area of the country, and this late in the year, which is an oddity also.
When they drive home overnight and into tomorrow morning, they'll pass through Portland, Lowell, Worcester, and Springfield, 4 AHL cities.
That's a joke.
Here's Sheptak, moving the puck off the boards in his own zone. It's kept in by Nerling at the right point. His shot is a weak one, and Graton feeds it ahead for Tripp. He can't spot Andrew Dale at the Albany line. Henry is out behind the net. Dale tried to knock it away. Henry slides it along the boards. Dagenet spun around by Benoit Graton. Rochefort moves the puck off the end boards for Nerling. 4 minutes, 15 seconds gone in the first, no score. Lakovic up the right wing, gains the St. John line, drops it for Brule. He carries into the right corner, backhands it towards the front of the net. Graton knocks it off the boards. Dale with a chance to fire it up ice, and he gets it to Tripp on the right wing. This is a 3-on-2. He'll fire it into the left corner, and the Flames will make a partial change. Goach is back to pick it up. He's forced in behind the goal by Benoit Graton. Now Concannon is the forechecker as Goach skates it ahead. The Rats from right to left. Goach gets away from Concannon. Brings it out to the neutral zone. He got upended by Sullivan. Back deep into Albany territory. Chasing it down is Concannon in the corner. It's fired off the boards by Steve Kelly, and it ends up in the seats. And at every Flames home game, if you catch a puck that sails into the seats, as that one just did, take it to customer service in Section T. They'll have it autographed by the Flame of your choice, and Loomis Courier will deliver it free of charge. It's the Loomis Courier puck delivery, complimentary service of Loomis Courier at all Flames home games.
Well, a big win last night against Quebec, the overtime win. Robbie Concannon getting the winning goal in overtime, and of course that puts the Flames in first place, 1 point up on the Lowell Lock Monsters. Tonight, Lowell is at home to Providence Bruins. And, once again, it's a big game for both teams. Providence trying to shake some of the doldrums. They were shut out last night at home against Kentucky.
Sullivan with a big shot off the face-off that was stopped by Henry. Bowen back in his own zone moves it for Sullivan. The Newfoundland native gains center and blasts it in. It rims around into the right corner. It's picked up there by Braun. He loses it. McLean at the side of the net took a whack at it, and it was knocked away by Henry. Back the other way come the River Rats. Bisek fires it in deep. Hard after it is Stanislav Braun. It comes to Bisek. His shot knocked away by Mathieu. Concannon fires it down ice. Maley at his own line feeds it ahead. Picked up by Braun in the neutral zone. He'll play it for Bisek. He loses the handle. Sullivan gives it to Bowen. He plays it on the left wing for McLean. Can't spot Fata deep in the Albany zone. 4 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first, still no score. Botterill in the Albany zone gets it to Tkachuk, knocked away by Braun, and cleared down ice by Yuri Bisek. Flames now out shooting the River Rats 4-1. Scoville back in his own zone, gives it to Daniel Tkachuk, the AHL's leading rookie scorer, plays it in deep. Henry is out behind the net, he'll shoot it away from Botterill, corralled by Fata on the right side. Knocked off of his stick from the point. St. Croix with a shot. That one skipped through traffic, and Henry made the save. Goach looks to clear, and he gets it out to center. It bounces away from St. Croix. Here's Jeff Williams down the left wing with a shot from a bad angle, and the save is made by Sean Mathieu. Jeff Williams coming off a career season last year in 74 games with the River Rats. He scored 46 goals and added 27 assists for 73 points. His production is way down this year. He has just 24 goals in 63 games, but that's not surprising because the River Rats have scored only 199 goals this season. Only the St. John's Maple Leafs have scored fewer goals than the Albany River Rats entering tonight's action in the American Hockey League. The Leafs have lit the lamp only 182 times. Puck is in behind the Flames net. Mathieu fires it along the left wing for Dale. He can't get it out. Shot by Goach. Didn't get through, and Greton plays it off the boards to center. Played back into the Flame zone. Staples is there, moving it for Tripp on the right wing. He'll carry over the Albany line with his shot. That one glances off of Goach in behind the net. Dale's after it, fed it in front. Greton with his shot, saved by Henry, and Hill cover up.
You know, you talked about the lack of production from this hockey team, and really it's odd because the Albany River Rats have had some pretty good teams here in the past. Of course, former Calder Cup champs, and really the New Jersey Devils have a pretty good organization. The River Rats team, 14 of the Albany River Rats were originally drafted by the New Jersey Devils, so they like to keep it in their own backyard. And once again, it might be time to go out and get a couple of defensemen. As you mentioned earlier, only 2 in the lineup tonight, regular defensemen, and that just isn't going to get the job done. Throws everything out of whack, and it's not the way to run certainly an organization, especially going into the playoffs.
Tripp can't get the backhander away from the faceoff. Bisek moves in behind his own net, and it's controlled by Richard Rochefort. He'll play it ahead for David Cunniff. Cunniff dumps it into the Flame zone. Mathieu knocks it away with the blocker. Braun is after it in the corner. Cunniff is there to help out. Dale and Sheptak for the Flames are there as well, and Dale steps in behind his own net with the puck. He drops it for Staples, ahead for Benoit Greton. Looking for Dale, that's picked off, carried back into the Flame zone by Cunniff. Staples took him out of the play. Dale in the neutral zone can't come up with it. Braun slides it back. Kelly from his own line gives it to Rochefort, a pair of forwards here playing defense for the undermanned River Rats. Kelly back inside his own blue line. Controlling now in the neutral zone, playing it for Rochefort. He'll bring it up the left wing into the St. John zone. He'll dump and chase. 12.5 minutes remaining in the first. There's no score. Flames are out shooting the River Rats 7-3. Braun in the left corner. Tried to angle his way in front. Greton won't allow it, and the puck is picked up by Tripp, who backhands it out of the zone to the neutral area. Picked up by Kelly. He skates back into his own end. Rats from right to left. Kelly Lead pass on the right side. Here's Cloutier skating in. Cloutier with a backhand. That one slides just wide. St. Croix in behind the net. Plays the puck to Botterill. He'll move it back to St. Croix. Botterill now sends it ahead for Daniel Tkachuk. Tkachuk loses it in the neutral zone. It bounces into Albany territory, and it's cleared out by George Awada. St. Croix back at the St. John line. Headmans for Botterill. Botterill collided with Awada, who got the knee out. Scoville back inside his own blue line, ahead for Botterill on the left wing. He'll dump it in deep. Henry out behind the net, setting it up for David Maley. Maley plays it for Skurlak. Skurlak bounces it off the left wing board. St. Croix at center. Turns it over to Cloutier. He waits for his mate to get onside. Carries into the zone. Steps in front. Poked away by a sliding St. Croix. And Scoville plays it off the boards down ice. Racing after it is Fata. He can't come up with it. Delayed offside against the Flames. The Flames got the puck out of the zone. Brule brings it now to the St. John line. Bowen loses it in his own zone. Brule in the right corner. Plays it in behind the net. Petrovicki can't do anything with it. It was centered, but it skips past the point man all the way down ice. Under 11 minutes remaining in the first period. There's no score at Harbor Station. Steve Kelly back in behind his own net. He'll move it for the captain, Brule. Turnover, shot by Concannon, and the save is made by Henry. 8-3 now. The Flames out shooting the Rats, but neither team has scored.
No, and pretty sloppy so far, really. The Flames should be able to pass these guys to death, really. When you've got a defensive core as weak as the Albany River Rats do in this particular game, you have to move the puck up the ice, and something the Flames seem to be having a little bit of problem doing so far. Passes really not on the tape, and just everybody's not in sync so far. Flames played a very good third period last night. I thought they moved the puck very, very well. Certainly played very strong defense. Good goaltending by Jaguar, but really moved the puck up the ice and shows some offense.
Lakovic over the Flames line, drops it for Brule. He carries into the corner, drops it for Lakovic. He sends it to the high slot. Weak shot doesn't get through. Mathiel comes way out and plays the puck ahead to Petrovicki. He'll play it on the left wing for Concannon, skating in with a shot pad, saved by Henry. Rebound was loose. Kelly feeds it ahead. Good job by Staples to hold it in at the line, but it deflects over the glass into the seats in Section V. 10:22 remaining here in the opening period. There is still no score. Frederick Henry making his 50th appearance of the season tonight. The native of Cap Rouge, Quebec. Played junior hockey with Granby. Played 34 games in the East Coast League with Raleigh back in 1997-98. This is his second full season with the River Rats. His next win will be a career high. He had 17 victories last year. He has 17 victories so far this season.
Was a member of the Memorial Cup champs back in '96, the Granby Predators. They're a pretty darn good hockey team back then.
Rochefort in his own zone moves it for Goach. Out to center for Braun. Broken up by Jody Shelley, and he'll send it back in. Hard after it is Graton. Goach moves in behind the net. Fires it off the boards for Bisek. He'll headman it quickly for Graun, who skates down the left wing. One man to beat that St. Croix. Graun goes around and moves it front backhand. Scores! Highlight reel goal for Stanislav Graun, his 18th of the season, and the Rats have a 1-0 lead.
Nice job by Graun. As you mentioned, went through pretty well the St. John Flames. And Stanislav Graun with his 18th goal of the year. 58th game, a very good job, and Mathiel perhaps staying back a little too far, getting a piece of it, but dribbling behind. And this is something that's happened time and time again. Flames dominating the play early, not really looking that good, but they've taken it to the River Rats, and Rats come down and put one by Sean Mathiel, jump into that 1-0 lead.
Graun his 18th of the season from Bisek and Goach at 10:08. St. Croix, who's played very well of late, got caught a little flat-footed there, and Graun just skated down the left side and moved to his right and danced around St. Croix. Mathiel got a piece of it, and the puck just trickled over the goal line. Yeah,
and really, Oval's got to make the play on that. Really, the bottom line is you have to be physical. We talked about that earlier tonight. Defense for the Flames have to be physical with this Albany team. And, really didn't show it there.
1-0 the River Rats lead, and that means we do not have a winner tonight in our Rennerek First Goal of the Game contest. Raymond McKenzie had selected Rico Fata, but Raymond's name will be entered into our draw at the end of the regular season for a week-long car rental, courtesy of Rennerek. 1-0 the Rats lead. Puck is at the Albany line, picked up by Awada. He'll step in front of his own net. Playing it now for Cloutier. He'll give it to Kelly. Kelly Ahead for Maley. He's tripped up by Tkachuk. That allows Sullivan to carry in over the line. Plays it for Tkachuk, but it's knocked away down ice by Williams. It was nearly a 3-on-0 from the blue line in for the Flames. Staples fires it to the Albany line. Kelly is there. Kelly looking up ice, driving it in deep. Mathieu will leave it for Sullivan. 9-4, the Flames out shooting the River Rats, but St. John trails 1-0. 8 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the first. Sullivan in his own zone gives it to Botterill. Ahead for Staples, looking for Petrovicki. Rochefort whacked it away, and starting back is Brule. 2-on-2 with a long shot, knocked away by Sullivan. McLean is there on the Flames transition, but there's going to be a penalty on Sullivan for cross-checking the Albany captain, Steve Brule. Albany with a 1-0 lead, gets the game's first power play. You're watching Primetime Sports on TVNB and listening to Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94. Sullivan's off for cross-checking at 11:27. Albany's power play is 17th in the league. The Flames penalty killing is 18th. So neither team is very efficient in the power play or penalty kill department, respectively. Here, the Rats with the man advantage and the Flames shorthanded.
Well, the Flames are certainly going to have to pick up the penalty kill if they're going to be successful going into the playoffs. Really, it's something that these special teams are something that you really have to work on. I don't understand it because I do like the personnel that they can put out there on the penalty kill, but just hasn't been that good this year.
Here's Jeff Williams in his own zone, feeding it ahead for Rochefort. He brings it over the St. John line. Rochefort sends it in behind the net, picked up by Jeff Williams along the left wing. Williams gets it in behind the goal. Dagenet plays it for Rochefort, back to Brule to the point for Williams. Williams moves it back down low. Brule steers it in behind the net. Dagenet gets it to Brule, back on the left side for Rochefort. Breton will steal, and he'll carry it up ice 2-on-2 with Botterill. Breton into the Albany zone with a shot. That one sails wide on the glove side. St. Croix will keep it in deep. Henri out behind the net, poking it away from Breton. Brule is there, and he'll play it back in behind his own goal for Williams. 7:39 remaining in the first. Albany with a 1-0 lead. Kelly out to center. Now Rochefort drives it in. Scoville plays it ahead, and Concannon sends it down ice. Retrieving it is Sasha Goach. Now he'll defer to Steve Kelly. Ahead for Goach. Rink wide for Braun. He has the game's only goal. He gains the St. John line on the left wing. Nearly turned it over to McLean. Goach picks it up at center ice. He flips it back into the Flame zone. Carried ahead by Scoville, in over the line. Scoville elects to skate back to center. Now Scoville plays it for Concannon. Controlled now by Bisak. He drops it between his legs in his own zone. Goach. Rink wide for Kelly. He's into the St. John zone. Kelly tried to split the defense. It comes to Dagenet. Make that Kluche. Playing it now for Bisak. Into the corner. Braun. Back to Bisak. Knocked away by Concannon. It comes to the point. Goach with a slap shot. Saved by Mathieu. The penalty to Sullivan is about to expire, so McLean heads up ice. 1-3 at the Albany line. Penalty over. McLean feeds it in front. Fata all alone, but getting back to break that one up was Braun. Good effort by McLean, gaining the line and creating a chance. Now Tkachuk has an opportunity, but it's poked off of his stick by Kelly. That was Shelley who was in, creating the havoc for St. John. Now Fata moves it for Tkachuk. He'll split the defense. Daniel Tkachuk was hooked, and he tried to drop it off, but Braun is there, and back the other way come the Rats. Staples plays it away from Bisak, and that one ends up deep in the Albany zone. Under 6 minutes remaining in the first period, Albany leads 1-0. David Maley behind his own net has it for the Rats. He'll fire it to center. It skips past everyone. This could be an icing if Sheptak gets there ahead of Williams, and he does. The Flames are back on home ice Wednesday night when they'll entertain the St. John's Maple Leafs. Next Friday, the Quebec Citadels come to town. Both of those games are 7:30 face-offs. A week from tonight, the Flames will play in Lowell, and that'll be your next chance to win with Diamond Taxi Trivia. Diamond Taxi Trivia during every road broadcast of Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94 CHSJ. Diamond Taxi, phone 648-8888.
Pretty good addition coming back into the lineup next Wednesday night against the Maple Leafs, and that's Dave Roach. It'll be interesting to see the reaction of both teams when that happens. Once again, a bad incident over Newfoundland last weekend. The St. John Flames could use the leadership of Dave Roach right now. They need someone. Very young team here. Lots of call-ups from East Coast League. And Dave Roach's addition certainly will be a big help for this team.
Dave Roach will be my guest coming up during our first intermission. Mailing, controlling in front of the Albany net. The net comes up and bounces off of its moorings and then landed back in position. And here's Cuniff skating in. And he rang it off the post. Mathieu got a piece of it and it hit the iron after everyone thought play was going to be stopped because the net was off of its moorings at the other end. And Cuniff was in on a breakaway behind the St. John defense. Erling back in his own zone, turns it over to Tripp. He waits for Gratton to get onside. Tripp bringing it in with a backhand. Kicked out by Henri, picked up by Gratton in the corner. Benoit Gratton moves it in behind the net. Dale is in there deep. He's bodied by Maley. Tripp and Dale battling for St. John. The puck comes to Gratton. He'll send it to the point, St. Croix. Big drive, pad saved by Henri. And back the other way, here's Dagenet skating against St. Croix, who drops him to the ice. And Scoville is able to pick up the loose puck. 4:40 remaining in the first. Flames down 1-0. Scoville still has it, trying to go coast to coast, but it's knocked away, and Lakovic sends it ahead. Brule plays it off the boards for Dagenet. 2-on-1. Dagenet with a shot. That one sails over the net. Bounces in front, and it skipped off of Brule just wide. That one hit the partition behind the net, and it was a great chance for the Rats. Brule moves it down low. Dagenet controls, looking in front, dishing off to Lakovic. Back in behind the goal for Brule. Brule bodied by Scoville. Gratton plays it away from Lakovic. Petrovicki is there, and the Flames bring it up ice. Petrovicki bodied by Lakovic in the neutral zone. Kelly back in behind the Albany net. Rats with a 1-0 lead under 4 minutes remaining in the first period. Rochefort sends it ahead. Skurlak gets it in deep. Lakovic is after it. He'll drop it in front to Skurlak. He moves in behind the net. Skurlak still has it. Staples forces it off of his stick, and Concannon fires it up ice. Petrovicki is after it, but getting there first and knocking it away is Kelly. Here's Kluche in over the line in front for Skurlak. Shot, save, Mathieu. Puck is loose. McLean picks it up and turns it up ice for St. John. McLean fires it ahead for Concannon. Poked away by Lewis. The trailer is Staples. He'll shoot it in deep. Big chance there for Rob Skurlak. Has only 1 goal in 145 games. He was looking for his second American Hockey League tally. Mathieu got enough of it to keep it out. Williams ahead for Lewis. He'll send it in, and Mathieu will turn it aside for Bowen. He plays it off the boards for Botterill. 3 minutes remaining in the first period. 1-0 Albany. St. Croix heads up ice. He ran into some trouble. Bowen loses it, and back the other way. Here comes Lewis. Down the right side, Lewis cuts in front with a backhand. Mathieu makes the save, and he covers up. Albany 1, St. John no score. This is Primetime Sports on TVNB. Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94. Aaron Kennedy, Steve Ryan at Harbor Station. Albany leading 1-0 on Stanislav Gron's 18th goal of the season. It came at 10:08. Face-off is to the left of Sean Mathieu. 2:50 remaining in the first. Staples moves in behind the net, plays it for Jason Botterill. This is his 14th game with the Flames. He's yet to score a goal. Tkachuk sends it into the Albany zone. Botterill racing after it, moves in behind the defense, but Kelly was there to knock it away. Fata's after it along the boards. Cuniff takes a heavy hit from Tkachuk. That gives Fata a lane. Fata moving in front, broken up by Cuniff. Goat plays it ahead, but not out. Fata gets it to Tkachuk on the left wing boards. Tkachuk now in the circle for Fata with a shot saved by Henri. Rebound picked up by Scoville. He'll slide it down low for Fata. Fata now along the right wing boards. Loses it. Racing after it is Gron. Gron all alone. Breakaway. Loses the handle. And he never got a shot away and back up ice. Here come the Flames. Tkachuk in over the line with a shot. Save. Botterill rebound.
Well, it was an interesting play. Rico Fata turning the puck over to Braun, going in and not getting the shot off on Mateel. Flames coming back on defense, but Stanislav Braun just basically messed it up. Flames turning it up the ice. Kachuk getting the chance, the shot on, and the save by Henry. And Jason Botterill, as you mentioned, hasn't scored for the Flames this year since coming over. And that Tom Kelly deal puts one behind Henry, and Flames really playing uninspired to that particular moment, finally getting one by Henry and tying this game up at 1.
And that was a big play a moment ago by Botterill with a burst of speed getting in behind the defense.
Yep.
Kelly had to knock it away. So it's 1-1. Raton plays it to the corner. Maley moves it for Rochefort. He'll send it ahead for Lakovic. Scoville and Kachuk get the assists on Botterill's first at 17:59. Now Sheptak moves it for Shelley. Lakovic took a run at him. Brule comes up with a loose puck. He'll play it for Lakovic with a wrist shot that misses the mark. Sheptak sends it off the boards. Tripp brings it up ice on the left wing. Tripp carrying down low with authority. Scores! John Tripp moving in on his off wing, and he just snaps it past Frederic Henry. The Flames lead 2-1.
Well, what do you say about that? Good shot by Johnny Tripp, and that's basically what they have to do. Get the puck on net, but that's a puck that really Frederic Henry has to stop. Good 40-footer anyway, high to the glove side, and he made the initial move down almost to a butterfly, at least dropped one pad, which he shouldn't have obviously done. Johnny Tripp rips it, and the Flames jump into a 2-1 lead.
Tripp with his 6th of the season. This is going to be an icing against the Rats. Tripp is 6th from Sheptak at 18:39, so back-to-back goals by the Flames, 40 seconds apart, and they've taken the lead.
Well, you have to give Albany a little bit of credit. Once again, depleted lineup, and the Flames gave them all the chances in the world to jump into a lead in this hockey game. But Flames come back, and this team has to do that. They have to skate. Certainly, you've got a depleted defense back there for the River Rats, and the Flames showing it, taking advantage of it, really moving the puck up the ice, starting to at least very well.
Jeff Williams runs right over Darryl Scoville, gets it deep into St. John territory. McLean loses it, puck bounces in behind the net. Williams comes up with it, feeds it in front. Kluche with a shot, and that one's off the mark. Kincannon gives it to Petrovicki. He'll bring it up the right side over the Albany line. Petrovicki passes it right through McLean's legs, and Williams is there for the Rats. He'll turn it up ice with 40 seconds remaining in the period. Williams to center, slides it in deep. Mateel is out behind the net, and he'll give it to Chris St. Croix. Flames with a 2-1 lead. St. Croix ahead for Kincannon. Broken up in the neutral zone by Braun. Kincannon gets it right back. Plays it for Kachuk over the line. He has it. Cuniff avoids the hit, and the puck is played out to center. Kachuk moves it back to the line. Gaining the puck is Cuniff, and he'll fire it ahead. Now Botterill, with 12 seconds to go in the period, gives it to Kachuk. With a long slap shot, Henry knocks that one aside. Bisek is back. Moves it in behind his own goal. Kachuk looks to feed it in front, but time is going to elapse in this first period. The Flames, after allowing the first goal, come back and take a 2-1 lead.
Well, they did bounce back, and they should be able to against this hockey team, but very undisciplined period by the Flames defense. Really didn't think they were focused out there, and a guy like Jeff Staples is an anchor back there, especially with all the call-ups, and he didn't have a very good period. So the Flames really have to concentrate on playing a lot better in their own defensive end. And once again, the forwards, this is a team you have to move the puck against. There's some good speed in this hockey team. Rico Fata, Daniel Kachuk, certainly Benoit Graton, the leading point getter for the Flames. They have to get the puck up the ice. Certainly the defense have to get it to them, but the forwards really have to take advantage of this Albany defense that really just isn't used to being back there. And until they do that, this could be a close hockey game. But this is a team the Flames should beat. Just have to play more their style of game. Move the puck up the ice and move it up quickly.
Rats open the scoring on a goal by Stanislav Gron, but the Flames come back with tallies 40 seconds apart from Botterill and Tripp, and it's 2-1 St. John after 1 at Harbor Station. First intermission is coming up. A little bit later, we'll be joined by David Roach, the Flames captain. 2-1 Flames. This is Primetime Sports on TVNB and Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Harbor Station, where the Albany River Rats are taking on the St. John Flames. Flames leading now by a score of 2-1 and leading in shots on goal, which is unusual, 16-9.
Zone. There really wasn't any great shots on goal, but second half of the period, both teams picked up the pace, and Flames lead 2-1, so it's going to be interesting to see how Albany comes out of the gate, and whether the Flames, the word we keep using, and we hate to keep using it, but is intensity. They've got to maintain it for a full 60 minutes every game.
Sasha Lakovic was a bit of a contributing factor out there, and he was out there bumping and grinding, getting under the skin, but we noticed Jody Shelley and Sasha lined up together, and nothing seemed to come out of that, but then later on, Lakovic took a slash and went right straight to the bench afterwards, and that was where they scored the goal.
Yeah.
It was a great shot by John Tripp coming down. He just let the wrist shot go, a shot on net. That's something Flames have to start doing, is just shooting at the net. They didn't do that last night, trying to set up the perfect play, perfect pass, the perfect goal. Goals are scored just shooting at the net.
Well, you got to get some rubber in there. There's no question about it. And look at the first goal they scored. It was a good follow-up on the play. Boys didn't dump it in and then turn around and get back on the defense, start turning up the other way of the ice. That's what you have to do. Your wingers have to get in there. Let a shot go. Don't look for that perfect pass, like you said. Don't try to be Wayne Gretzky and setting it up to the man every time. Let that shot go. Let your forwards come in there and get that rebound and try to dump it in there. And that's as basic as it gets.
Let's switch gears now to Quebec Major Junior Hockey, Jim. The Moncton Wildcats are they're the team to beat, I think, this year. They seem to be, anyway, they're ranked number 2 in the league right now. And they've played 2 games up in Bathurst. They won 5-0 and 6-3. And I think it's just phenomenal. You've been watching them here on Primetime Sports, and we're glad to bring it to you in your home. And we had a chance to talk to Real Payma and a few other players about the first 2 playoff games, and we'll take you to that right now.
Well, it was a lot more emotional game for both sides today, and as the series is going to build up, the emotion's going to build up. We knew that Bathurst would come out with their best game. They don't really have much of a choice. They were at home for the second game. I'm sure they wanted to come out for at least one victory, so we were prepared for that. The biggest thing there is we keep composure every time that they came back, every time that, and they never quit. We have to give credit to them. They haven't quit all year long, and they battled to make the playoffs, and now in the playoffs they do the same thing. They haven't battled, and we expect a big game from them, the third one, which is always a big one in a series, Monday at the Coliseum.
So now obviously the Moncton Wildcats have the Tetons where they want them. 2-0 lead going into the Moncton Coliseum on Monday night for Game 3. Obviously, the Moncton Wildcat crowd at the Coliseum could be a deciding factor in the outcome of the series.
Definitely, we came here. We knew what we wanted to do. We would come out with 2 victories. We did. Now we're coming in front of our crowd. Our crowd has been louder and louder each game. They're getting into it too. They're getting emotional. The players are getting emotional. It should be a great game, and I expect our crowd for the next couple of games there to be right there behind us and pull us over the hump there.
So obviously tonight's game was, we could say, more difficult for the Moncton Wildcats than Game 1.
Certainly. They come out strong at us. They work hard 60 minutes. They never give up. We work hard 60 minutes, maybe not the way we should work, but they give us a really good resistance, and the emotions start to we start to give it to us.
I think the guys did very well tonight, and they deserve better results. And they coming out very well tonight. They work hard all the time. We played all night with a lot of discipline. All the time we played great on the forechecking, put the pressure on them, and but we have some things lapse of 5 minutes during the second periods, and that's where we lost the game.
Charles Faber was surprisingly the starting goalie for Game 2. What happened to Frédéric Cloutier?
Frédéric Cloutier has, I don't know, maladie.
It's stomach flu?
Yeah, stomach flu. And that's for why he didn't play tonight. And I think Charles Faber did well tonight. And we focus for the other game.
And welcome back to Harbor Station. I'm Barry Johnson along with Jim Hennessy. Moncton Wildcats seem to be they're going to be the team, like I said earlier, to beat. And we'd just like to wish them all the best here from St. John. And, hope they do well. I mean, it's good hockey, and it's something that we really enjoy to watch.
Well, you look at those first two games, what a difference a year makes. I mean, if you had told somebody last year, especially a Teton fan, that they would have gotten beaten 5-0 and 6-3 in their own barn, they would have laughed you right out of the rink. But that's the way it's gone so far. Want to make mention as well, Game 3 goes Monday night, 7 o'clock start right here on Primetime Sports on TVNB from the Coliseum in Moncton. And the crowds up there have just been outstanding. You look at that game last Sunday that we showed here on TVNB. Over 7,000 in the rink. People have really adopted to Quebec Major Junior Hockey. And, I mean, let's face facts. That team has played well all year. Went through a bit of a slump just before Christmas, came out of it right after the break, and they've been playing well ever since. So, like you said, yeah, they got a real good chance to go all the way and keep the trophy here in the Maritimes as well. We should make mention of that.
One thing about Quebec Major Junior Hockey, I'm a big fan of it. I like to watch it, and it's affordable hockey. You can take the family out. You're not going to have to take a mortgage out on the house to go to a game, but they do get a lot of fans. 7,283 were at that game in Moncton last Sunday, so it was a good game to watch. It was exciting, and of course, you get Halifax and Moncton. That's an old-time rivalry in that league, and Moncton leads the series 2-0. There's also a connection here at this game tonight with Albany River Rats. Have two former Moncton players, JF Donfus, which is the backup goaltender here tonight, and Pierre Dagenet is a big towering forward.
That's right. You got an interview with him after the game. We know that. And you said you're going to ask him how the air is up there. He's huge in his skates. He's got to be about 6'4", 6'5". And, I mean, he really is a presence out there. There's no question about it. Like you said, we were looking at the lineup for Albany. You go down the list, and you see a lot of the French names in the lineup. So they definitely have the maritime flavor in that lineup. And, the only tough thing that it's got to be being a player in Albany is that with the powerhouse that New Jersey is, your chances of getting called up unless an injury rolls through the lineup up there are probably slim to none, but that's why they have the talent they do. You'll remember 94-95. It's the first time, I think, ever in the history. The parent club won the NHL Stanley Cup, and Albany won the Calder Cup. So, they continue to be a powerhouse on both levels, and, yeah, the maritime talent is in there, and it's good to see that the AHL and the NHL are picking up on that.
Let's stay with the Devils. Robbie Fatorik getting fired on, I believe it was Thursday, if my mind is right here, that they bring in Larry Robinson. They knew that everybody knew Larry Robinson was going to take over eventually anyway, but some people are wondering, Robbie Fatorik leading them to the Eastern Conference title, but then they go and fire him. But there was a lot of dissension in the ranks there.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Fatorik, I mean, you look at the job that he did right out of the gate. A lot of people didn't pick New Jersey to really do that much this year. Make the playoffs, yes, but lead the conference, no. And that's where he took them. But all of a sudden, they started falling into a slide. They'd only won 5 out of their last 13, and questions were being asked by the ownership. They were being asked by the players, and the word around New Jersey was the players had just given up on him. He made a couple of moves that were questionable. Lyle Littleline got traded at the deadline, and a lot of people felt that he was a good part of the defense and the reason why they were playing as well as they were. He was traded. Fatorik fell out of favor with the players, and when they do that, the players sometimes can have a tendency to lay down on you. Even on the NHL level, you think, they got to have a little more class than that, or they play the game a little harder than that, but that's the way it broke down. Fatorik fell out of favor with the players. That means he falls out of favor with the ownership. You'll remember in '89, when he was coaching in L.A., a gentleman by the name of Wayne Gretzky, he fell out of favor with too, and we both know who's going to win that argument in the end.
The Flames are leading the Albany River Rats by a score of 2-1 here at Harbor Station. You're watching Primetime Sports right here on TVNB.
Like we said, fire and ice with him and Vibe, and unfortunately, Thompson, he's in the AHL with Louisville, and he feels he's going to get a lot of playing time there, so be interesting to see if Louisville does play here next season. That game will be a sellout here at Harbor Station, no question.
Well, that is for sure, Jim, and a lot of fans are going to be really cheering for Rocky, and we wish him all the best down in Louisville. He had a great season here when Bill Stewart was here.
Oh, absolutely.
Bill Stewart took him kind of under the wing and guided him along, made somewhat of a hockey player out of him. And Vive just wanted to keep him in the role as a tough guy, and Vive likes the rough stuff too. So we'll have to see what happens with Rocky in Louisville and see if he sticks there and see how the relationship lasts down there.
Well, there were so many skeptics about Thompson when they called him down. Of course, he became an instant fan favorite with a name like Rocky. I mean, everybody loved him. The tune, when he was out on the ice, they'd play the tune when he dropped the gloves. And, I mean, people got excited. So it'll be interesting to see, like you said, Bill Stewart tried to develop into a hockey player, a little bit more of a hockey player, a little more skill than just throwing the knuckles around. So it'll be interesting to see how he makes out in Louisville, if he gets the ice time he's looking for. But like we said, hopefully they end up playing in this barn next year, because that'll be a game that everybody will be here to see.
Stay tuned the next intermission. We'll talk a little bit about some of the other players that arrived in transactions at the trade deadline. And right now we'll get back up to Aaron Kennedy and Steve Ryan for play-by-play action.
Okay. All right. Station. Your intermission host on Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94 is Andy LaRue. For those of you watching Primetime Sports on TVMV, your intermission hosts are Jim Hennessy and Barry Johnson. The Flames have a 2-1 lead over the River Rats as the second period is underway. The Rats control. It's Sasha Goach at his own blue line, dropping it back. Maley plays it ahead for Kluche. He's bumped by Botterill. The puck ends up deep in Flames territory. Scoville moves in behind the net. Lewis is all over him. The puck is centered. Kluche loses the handle. He got upended by St. Croix. Tkachuk plays it for Botterill, who brings it up the left wing. Flames from right to left. Botterill has his first goal as a Flame, sends it in behind the goal. Henry leaves it for Maley. He'll play it ahead. St. Croix unable to keep it in, and it bounces down ice. Racing after it is Sylvain Kluche. He has 8 assists in his last 5 games. Scoville got there ahead of him, played the puck away. Now it comes to Scoville. He loses it. Braun fires it wide of the net. Picked up by Kluche. The former Adirondack Red Wing gets it in behind the goal. Scoville hammers Lewis. Scoville comes up with the puck, and he skates with it to the corner. Kluche throws the shoulder into him, and there's going to be a penalty on Scoville for slashing Kluche after the hit. And Scoville will head off for slashing here at the 53-second mark of period number 2. This will be power play number 2 for the Rats.
The Rats going to get a chance to even this game up. Don't like what the St. John Flames defense did in the first period. Turned away from the puck a lot. Really weren't playing with much focus out there. And guys like Darryl Scoville, they're going to have to pick it up. He's one of the leaders on this hockey team. He's going to have to lead by example. Jeff Staples also not a very good period. And once again, with the call-ups to Calgary, the defense are really going to have to take over. You're missing some key ingredients up front. Chris Clark, Varlamov is not there. Of course, you won't see Cowan for the rest of the year. But St. John Flames, pretty good defense when they want to be. Once again, a bad period. That first period for St. John Flames defense.
You want to see Jeff Cowan again, you'd better invest in the center ice package on a satellite dish, because he's not going to play here.
Not a chance. And good for him. Having a very good time up in Calgary. Got his 3rd goal the other night. Martin St. Louis with the assist. A couple of scraps. Guy's doing well. Brian Sutter likes this kid, and looks like he's there to stay.
Brett McLean intercepts a pass in the neutral zone, skates back to the Flames line and dumps it down ice. Kelly moves it for Williams. Rats with the man advantage. They drive it in, and that one sails into the seats. It went off the high glass in behind Mathiel and squirts into the corner. The seats in section Q. 1:18 gone in the second period. The Flames leading the Albany River Rats 2-1. The River Rats are one of only 2 teams in AHL history to have won the Calder Cup in the same year as their respective NHL parent club won the Stanley Cup. The River Rats and New Jersey Devils won their championships in 1995. The Nova Scotia Voyageurs and the Montreal Canadiens were the first teams to clinch the Daily Double, doing it twice in 1976 and 1977.
Jersey Devils under Larry Robinson. Big 8-2 win over the hapless Islanders last night. Robinson's first game as head coach of the Devils.
McLean short-handed deep in Albany territory, plays the puck for Concannon. It's knocked off of his stick to center. Sheptak is there, and he'll play it back in. Speaking of the New York Islanders, Chris Lee is going to referee a game between the Islanders and the Atlanta Thrashers next weekend. Brule plays it ahead. Rochefort gains the St. John line, moves it for Brule down low in front. A backhand is wide. Botterill is there. He plays it in behind the goal. Rochefort is after it. Staples ties him up, tried to pin him against the end boards. Brule sends it to the left point. Williams with his shot. Mathiel out the save. Rebound. Moving in behind the net is Brule. He'll send it to the right point for Kelly. Kelly plays it in front. Staples got his stick on it, and Botterill will drive it all the way down. Henri steers it to the corner and then skates out to shoot it away from Gratton. 30 seconds to go in the penalty. Here's Gratton at the Albany line, losing the handle, and Williams brings it up ice over the St. John line with his shot. That one's off the glass into the left corner. St. Croix is after it. Played in front. Fata is there, and he'll streak up ice short-handed. Fata down the left wing, over the line with his shot.
Oh, you didn't see a lot of mesh move there. What a rocket. Cannonading drive by Rico Fata, short-handed goal. That's a big one. That's what this kid can do. Pick the puck up in his own end. Skidded in, was being played off by the Albany River Rats defenseman a bit. Henri back in his crease, and just a howitzer by Rico Fata. Absolutely huge drive. Sasha goes backing in. And we're going to see a goaltending change here. A couple on the glove side by Henri and Jean-Francois Damphousse, former Moncton Wildcat, in the win for the Albany River Rats.
This is nothing new from John Cunniff. The Albany coach has a quick trigger finger. Last weekend, Damphousse started. He was awful. Henri went in. He was worse. Damphousse went back in.
Yep. Good shot by Fata. You got to give him credit. But the one on Johnny Tripp, very, very suspect late in the first period.
3 goals on 18 shots. On Damphousse or on Henri. And Damphousse is in. Unassisted goal for Fata, his 25th of the season. He leads all rookies in goals. Rats still on the power play. Goes from the point, gets it to Bisek. Sullivan knocked it away. Bisek gets it back, moves in front, plays it for Grahn. He's in behind the net. Grahn carries it now along the left side. Team's at full strength. Sullivan in the corner. Bisek knocked it away. Bisek has it in the left circle. That's poked off of his stick, and Sullivan will flip it up ice. Chuck is after it. Coach plays it ahead. Scoville now gains the Albany line on the right side. Scoville moves in behind the net. Scoville tried to center. Played away by Goach. Staples off the bench, kept it alive, shoots it in behind the net. Maley is there for the River Rats. David Maley, one-time draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens, sends it out to the neutral zone. Cunniff plays it for Bisek. Tkachuk nearly took it away, but Maley's able to shoot it in deep. Mathiel is out behind the net, setting it up for Chris St. Croix. Flames lead 3-1 early in the second at Harbor Station. St. Croix flips it to the neutral zone and down into Albany territory. Damphousse turns it away for Steve Kelly. Staples keeps it alive at the Albany line. Now it bounces out to center, and we're going to have a fight. Jody Shelley and Rob Skurlock. Shelley with a big right hand. Skurlock with a couple of rights that don't land. Shelley with a big, solid right hand uppercut. Shelley has lost his helmet. Now they're in tight, tying one another up. Skurlock and Shelley. Now Skurlock has lost his helmet as well. Shelley with a right hand cross. Shelley lands another blow. Tie one another up. They're in tight. Getting tired out now. Shelley wasn't happy with his fight against Terry Ryan last week in St. John's, but he performs quite admirably here against Rob Skurlock. And they'll sit for 5 each. To get back to Rico Fata, he scored the goal a moment ago short-handed on the bullet that beat Henri glove side shell. I was talking with Rico this morning after the morning skate. Of course, last night he had a goal where he had a shot that rang off the pipe.
Yep, sure did.
Said, you got magnets or something in your pucks, because they seem to find the iron. He just shook his head. But he did the exact same thing tonight, racing up the left wing, but this time he was able to find the bench.
Yeah, and absolutely no hesitation. I mean, this guy can really bring it, and as he showed there on Henri, a wicked shot just inside the blue line, and you can catch a goaltender off guard, but from that far out, and to beat a goaltender that cleanly, either the goaltender's asleep or you've got one heck of a shot, and I think it was a combination of the two. But Fata can really unleash it. You're going to see that in the NHL someday. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I suppose Fata's disappointed with the call-up of Varlamov, and Kachuk might be as well, but once again, this is a development league, and he's certainly developing in the AHL.
Puck is played back into the Albany zone. Sullivan moves it for Concannon, fighting Majors to Shelley and Skurlak at the 4-minute mark. Here's McLean moving in, shot from a bad angle. That one's off the outside of the net. Braun comes up with it. Petrovicki ties him up. McLean comes up with the puck, moving it for Petrovicki. That's broken up, kept alive by St. Croix. He'll backhand it to the corner. Concannon centers, knocked away. Concannon gets it back in front. Backhand doesn't get through. Now the forehand shot is stopped by Danfus. And there's a penalty coming up on Steve Kelly for slashing. Incidentally, Jason Bowen is not on the Flames bench here in the second period. He left last night's game early. He definitely was less than 100%, but he's a gamer and wanted to give it a try tonight, but he's unable to continue. And certainly you need Jason Bowen, so if he's not 100% with some critical matchups next week against the Leafs, Quebec, Lowell, and Portland, it's best that he take the rest of the night off and rest up for Wednesday.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely. Bad hip, I guess it is, and once again, this game, you know, you hate to run a limb, but it should be in hand, and the Flames certainly have the arsenal to beat the River Rats, but once again, if Bowen is just not feeling right with that hip, get him out of there, rest him up. Some big games coming up in the near, not too distant future.
Especially the style he plays, rocking, socking, throwing the weight around. He has to be able to use that hip. Body checks and the like.
Absolutely.
Penalty is Kelly for slashing at 4:31. The Flames with their first power play. They've scored a power play goal in 12 straight games. McLean along the right wing boards. Moves to the top of the circle. Down low for Petrovicki in front. Broken up by Danfus, and it bounces down ice. Flames lead 3-1. 5 minutes gone in the second period. Mathiel will set it up for Darryl Scoville. Flames from right to left. Scoville moves it ahead. McLean skates after it. Broken up by Nerling in the neutral zone. Now Scoville fires it cross ice for Petrovicki. He comes up the left wing, gains the line, fires it in behind the net. Breton controls it, leaving it now for McLean on the right wing half boards. Trip to the front of the net. Puck to the point for Scoville. Back to Brett McLean. McLean, top of the circle, moving in, dishing off to Breton. Back to McLean, fakes the shot, sends it over to Scoville. He'll fire it right on, saved by Danfus. Goach on the rebound from his knees is able to play at the length of the ice. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty to McLean. Or I should say in the penalty to Kelly, 15 for the River Rats. Fata up the right side, gains the line, flips it in front. Botterill redirects it, and a nice save. An acrobatic stop by Danfus. He's come on in relief of Frederic Henry. Botterill lead pass, Fata scampering down the right side, cuts to the slot, drops it for Botterill. His shot knocked away, and it's played down ice by Rochefort. 20 seconds to go in the penalty to Kelly. Sheptak brings it up the left wing. He's over the line. Slap shot, save, and the rebound is smothered by Jean-Francois Danfus. You talked about Danfus being a former Moncton Wildcat. He played parts of 3 seasons with Moncton, turned pro at the end of last year, playing 1 game with the River Rats, which was a loss. This year, he's played 21 games in Albany and 14 games in Augusta. The Devils have high hopes for him. He was a high pick, 24th overall in 1997.
Yeah, and I like this kid. I've seen him play in Moncton. He's very, very quick, very good glove hand, and that's a prerequisite for a goaltender. And yeah, you're right. New Jersey are high on him, obviously, with the first-round draft pick. And I like this kid. I think he's going to be a good one, but he's getting a lot of work this year with the River Rats. Once again, the lack of defensemen isn't going to help you, and you'll see some more rubber here tonight.
Dozen seconds to go in the penalty to Kelly. Brule, the Rats' captain and leading scorer, plays the puck all the way down. It's fired along the boards by Mathiel. Kachuk controlling in his own zone. Kachuk moves it for Fata. He'll play it back to Sheptak. 23-10, the Flames out shooting the Rats. Botterill forces the puck ahead. Botterill can't do anything with it. Now Dagenet into the Flame zone with a shot. That one bounces off of St. Croix, and it's picked up by Sheptak, and he'll flip it up ice. Broken up by David Maley. He moves it quickly for Lakovic. Lakovic plays it on the left side. It ends up deep in the St. John zone. Lakovic skates after it, and he bumps Mathiel. Not very heavily. Fata sends it ahead for Botterill, broken up by Maley. Dagenet starts back. It's a 3-on-2. Brule drops it. Dagenet, big drive, scores! A bullet by Dagenet on the drop pass by Brule, and the Rats are back within one. It's 3-2.
Well, you want to talk about shots. We saw it from Rico Fata earlier, and from Pierre Dagenet. And just a howitzer, and that's Dagenet's 34th goal of the year. He's a good kid. I like his size. He's 6'4". He was New Jersey's 4th choice, 47th overall in 96. Went back in and was the 6th choice in 97. But this kid's got the size, pretty good speed, good hands. Showed it there that he's got a very, very good shot, beating Sean Mathiel over the shoulder. Make this a 3-2 hockey game.
Dagenet hits 34th from Brule and Maley at 7:14. The Rats are buoyed by the performance of Damphus as he's come in place of Henri. They get the goal from Dagenet. Here's Petrovicki ripping it wide from the right side. Sullivan moves it to Cannon in behind the net. McLean in by Kluche. Petrovicki looking for the loose puck. Kelly is there. Petrovicki takes it away. He controls along the left wing. Fires it through the slot. It comes to Concannon. Nairling moves it ahead for Lewis. Now for Williams. The St. John line. They're turned away by Staples. Kluche drops it for Nairling. He'll fire it in. Concannon finishes his check running into the rookie defenseman. Staples moves it for Concannon. Now to McLean at center for Petrovicki on the left wing. Petrovicki in front for Brett McLean. The puck bounces off of his blade into the corner. McLean in behind the net. Gets it to Petrovicki. Petrovicki controlling along the boards. Taken off of the puck by Cunniff. He gets it ahead for Williams. Now back to Cunniff. Cunniff brings it in over the line. St. Croix knocked it away to the right corner. Cunniff is after it. He and St. Croix collide. Lewis looking to knock the puck loose. 11.5 minutes remaining in the second period. The Flames lead 3-2. Andrew Dale for St. John plays the puck down ice. Maley is back to get it, and he'll fire it in. Mathiel out behind the goal. He'll shoot it off the glass. Cunniff can't keep it alive, and it bounces down into the Albany zone. Maley will retrieve. David Maley ahead for Yuri Bisek. He shoots it in deep. Icing is waved off. Back to get it is Scoville. He'll move it for Dale, who gets it out to center. Goach back at his own line. Maley ahead for Brule. Back to Goach. Cross ice for Maley. He'll fire it ahead. It bounces off of Botterill into the St. John zone. Racing after it is Braun, his opposite number, 24 for the Flames. Scoville played inside. Brule had it knocked away by Breton. Goach hustles to keep in, but Scoville, who likes to gamble, joins the rush, head manning it for Tripp into the zone with a shot. That one's wide off the inboards. Botterill picks it up, moves in behind the goal. Botterill in front. Sheptak with a weak shot, loose in front. And Damphus reaches back and covers it. It's dropped. Flames on Primetime Sports on TVNB. Back to hockey on Country 94. Aaron Kennedy, Steve Ryan at Harbor Station. Flames have goals from Jason Botterill, John Tripp, and Rico Fata. Stanislav Braun and Pierre Dagenet have replied for the River Rats. It's 3-2. Play is in Albany territory. Kelly moves in behind the net. He's pressured by Daniel Tkachuk. Kelly plays it ahead. Staples holds in at the line, sends it back in behind the goal. Kelly skates after it. Steve Kelly has it behind the Albany net. The Rats skate from left to right. They get it to center. Staples moves it for Fata. Now for Tkachuk, ahead to Botterill. Skating in. Shot. Saved by Damphus, and the puck bounces off of him into the corner. Lakovic now controlling for the Rats. He steps away from Tkachuk, moves it to Kelly. He'll play it to center. Botterill picks it up, creating a 3-on-2. Botterill for Tkachuk. Tkachuk flips it in front. That one skipped just wide. And it's Kelly for the Rats, playing it ahead. The Flames exploiting this woeful defense for the River Rats. A lot of forwards masquerading as defensemen, and it's hurting this team. They're being outshot 25-11, but they're right in it. trailing only 3-2. Brett McLean hit by Lakovic. Petrovicki with a shot. Toe save. Rebound for Concannon. He'll center. It's loose. The Rats come up with it, and here they come. Lead pass intended for Cloutier, broken up by St. Croix. Petrovicki sends it back in. Concannon with a shot. Pad save, Dom Fuchs. Rebound gobbled up by Kelly. Ahead for Dagenet. He's in on a partial break. He'll put on the brakes. Takes the shot, and it misses the net. Cloutier plays it in behind the goal. Lakovic tied up by Petrovicki. Lakovic gets loose, dropping it off for Cloutier. He's met by Sullivan. He works it in front, poked aside by Mathiel. Now Lakovic gets it back. Flames in jeopardy of taking a penalty. They're running around. Petrovicki mixing it up with Lakovic. Williams has it, top of the left circle. He loses it to Brett McLean. He'll play it behind his own net for Sullivan. Sullivan gets it up ice. McLean carries it in over the Albany line. McLean down low on the left side. McLean fed it in front. Petrovicki is stopped by Dom Fuchs, who's able to cover up.
A couple of pretty good chances for the Flames, but once again, this is a team, really, we're talking about the defense, and we have a couple in the lineup here tonight. This is a team you should be able to finish off. It's a close hockey game, 3-2, 8:30 left here in the second period. Flames showing all kinds of offense, 28 shots here so far tonight. Once again, you have to bury your chances, and they are getting some of those chances. But I think this is a team, once again, the River Rats, the defensive situation that they have, Flames should be able to finish them off. Just can't seem to do it.
Jean-Sebastien Giguère, the backup goaltender for the Flames tonight, celebrating his 50th American Hockey League victory last night. Although a lot of times players aren't very keen on celebrating American Hockey League milestones because it means they've been here for a while. They prefer to celebrate National Hockey League milestones.
Thought he played well last night, especially in the third period. 2 goals quick in the first by Quebec, but Giguère bounced back, and good to see.
Scoville from the face-off, fires it in front. It's loose. Gratton dishes off. Tripp is stopped, and the puck bounces in behind the net. Kelly feeds it ahead for Bisek, and he'll bring it up ice. Now, taking charge is Cunniff. Gratton knocked that one away. The trailer is Kelly. Tripp takes it off of his skate, sends it ahead. Racing after it is Shelley, but Goach is there to fire it deep into the St. John zone, and that is an icing with 8:04 remaining in the second period, and the Flames on top 3-2. Goals by Fata, Botterill, and Tripp. Braun and Dagenet have replied for the River Rats. Next action for the Flames Wednesday night when the Maple Leafs come to town. We were talking with Dave Roach, the Flames captain, during our intermission. I asked him about potential retributions and vigilante justice on Wednesday, but he says he's not going to lose any sleep over it. He's just going to play his game come Wednesday night.
No, and he's the captain of this hockey team, and he has to play like that. Dave Roach is a pretty good guy. He's been through the wars. He's played in the NHL, and it'd be nice to see him put that behind him. Sean Thornton, the goon, let's put it that way, and basically that was a really cheap shot on Roach after coming on the ice. So Dave Roach obviously not happy with the hit on Tyler Harvin, but once again, those things happen. But, I think John Flames need Dave Roach back in the lineup. Once again, this is a young team. You have the call-ups. We've talked about that. Leadership by Dave Roach is a very, very important thing to this team right now in this stretch run.
28-11 are the shots on goal in favor of the Flames. Some interesting trivia regarding that fight involving Jody Shelley and Rob Skurlak. Jody Shelley's mother actually was a teacher of Rob Skurlak's when he was in grade 3 back in British Columbia. Shelley, native of Nova Scotia, but he was actually born out west.
That's a beauty.
Sheptak back in his own zone. Moves the puck in behind the net. It will come to Tripp, and he'll flip it out to center. Nerling gives it to Cloutier, who plays it in over the line, but that is an offside. It's going to be a big week here at Harbour Station. Paul Henderson and a $10,000 50-50 draw among the highlights. That's right, when the Flames host the Leafs on Wednesday. Everyone is invited to stay after the game to hear hockey legend Paul Henderson talk about his life story and faith journey. There'll also be Atlantic Lottery shootout night, so don't miss it. Then on Friday, when the Flames host the Quebec Citadels, it's fan appreciation night with a number of great prizes to be drawn and a guaranteed $10,000 50-50 draw. Wednesday against the Leafs, Friday against the Citadels. 7:30 face-offs both nights. Tickets are available at the box office, the Imperial Theater, and regular Irving ticket outlets. Kelly drives the puck into the attacking zone. Brule's after it. Rochefort moves it in behind the goal. Picked up by Dagenet. He'll get it to Lakovic. He's tied up by Kachuk. Brule battling against Sullivan. Puck bounces in front, knocked away by Mathieu, gobbled up by Kachuk ahead for Botterill. He'll drop it back to Kachuk and he'll play it into the Albany zone. Botterill scampers after it. Danfus is out playing it behind the net. Fata picks it up on the right side, moving it for Botterill to the point. Staples with a quick shot, doesn't get through as it's knocked down and cleared by Rochefort. It ends up in the seats. 7:07 remaining in the second period. At every Flames home game, be watching for the Dairy Queen tennis ball toss. You could win an ice cream cake, compliments of Dairy Queen. The Dairy Queen tennis ball toss follows the warm-up at all Flames home games.
Well, last night, the first game of 3 Friday nights in a row against the Quebec Citadels. The Flames, of course, coming out with a big overtime win on Rob Concannon's goal. And, interesting, the rivalry. These teams could still end up playing against each other in the playoffs, and interesting to see how that develops in the next couple of weeks.
Flames have 3 potential first-round opponents, Quebec,
yeah.
Lowell, and Springfield. Here's Botterill keeping it in. Daniel Kachuk with a shot. That one skipped just wide. Fata from a bad angle fires it through the goal mouth. Staples pinches in from the right point. He loses it, and Grawn will start back. Grawn sends it ahead. Cunniff charges after it into the left corner. He's in behind the Flames net. He's bodied by Sullivan. Bisek centers from the point. Melee with a wrist shot. Mathieu makes the save, and he'll hold on. Sean Mathieu has signed a contract with St. John for the rest of this season and for next season, and that's good news for a number of reasons. Flames know that they'll have a competent goaltender here next year, and it's good for Sean on a personal level because he's able to get some new equipment now that he's signed with the team. This guy has more bruises on his body than I don't know what, because his equipment is antiquated and it just doesn't absorb much and doesn't provide him with much protection. I wouldn't be surprised if the Sears Christmas wish book would offer more protection than those pads that he has.
Get rid of that helmet.
The mask has got to go too. His Richmond Renegade colors. There's a tiny Canadian flag on the back of his mask.
I love him.
Did you know that?
Nope, I do now.
Scoville in behind the St. John net. 6:20 to go in the period. Concannon can't spot Petrovicki. Kelly in his own zone for Goach. He'll play it ahead. Here's Cloutier dumping it in. Skating after it is Awanda with a backhand, kicked out by Mathieu. Cloutier on the rebound. He drops it to the point, but Petrovicki plays it away from Kelly. Well, McLean forces it ahead. It ends up inside the Albany blue line. Jeff Williams loses it. Petrovicki gets it for McLean. He'll drop it for Concannon, but that's broken up. And starting back is George Awada. He skates up the left side, gains the St. John line with a shot. Save Mathieu. Rebound is loose, and Mathieu is able to smother it. And now Petrovicki mixes it up after he had dropped, I believe it was Williams, with a nice little cross-check. Williams actually fell on top of Sean Mathieu. 5:46 remaining in the second. It's 3-2 Flames. This is Primetime Sports on TVNB. Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94. Plays underway, and the Flames get the puck out to center. Back to get it is Dagenet at the Albany line. He has a goal tonight, his 34th of the season. Lakovic plays it out to center. Staples is there, and he'll backhand it ahead. Breton traipses after it, drops it for Shelley. Quick shot is corralled by Jean-Francois Danfus, who came in after Frederic Henry allowed 3 goals on 18 shots in 22 minutes and 37 seconds of work. 34 goals for Pierre Dagenet have him 6th in the American Hockey League. Mike Maniluk of the Phantoms leads with 45. Serge Aubin of Hershey is next with 42. Then his Hershey teammate Christian Matt has 38. Mike Craig of Kentucky and Brad Smith of Hartford tied for 4th with 35 goals apiece. Jody Shelley gets the puck to Tripp, played away by Brule. Racing after it is Dagenet, but getting there first is Sheptak. He'll send it ahead for Graton. He's bodied by Brule. He absorbs the hit, carries down the left wing. Graton fed it in front. It bounces to the corner. Sheptak's there deep. Moving it for Shelley now for Benoit Graton. Graton rubbed out. Tripp collides with Lakovic. The puck is picked up and fed ahead by Maley. Dagenet over the line for Brule. Brule on his backhand. Turns to the forehand, top of the left circle. It bounces off of Graton into the seats with 4:52 remaining in period at number 2, and the Flames on top 3-2. At Selected Flames home games, be watching for the Super Bob's Couch Potato Competition. It's a presentation of Bob's Home Furnishings on Rossay Avenue. The Super Bob's Couch Potato Competition at Selected Flames home games. That fan made a pretty good catch on that puck as it bounced into the seats.
Talk about referees. Tim Peel, a pretty good game tonight, being a non-factor, and that's what you want to see. I didn't think Tim did a bad game last night at all, and his career forthcoming for Tim Peel and the refereeing ranks. And they will see, no doubt, him on a regular basis in the NHL. You mentioned Chris Lee going to do the game between the Islanders and Atlanta in a little while. Great break for Chris Lee. It was a shaky game here earlier in the year, but really has done a pretty good job so far in the AHL this year.
30-14 are the shots in favor of St. John. They lead 3-2. Sullivan flips it in. Here's Fata streaking after it behind the defense. Goal! The River Rats were unaware of the speeding locomotive that is 96. White Fata's got his second of the game, and the Flames have a 4-2 lead.
Well, a great combination there of blazing speed by Fata and a really defense that just didn't recognize this guy's speed. We've seen it earlier on the shot that he took. Used his speed to break hard down the wing and then get that great shot off for his first goal of the game. We saw it here on the dump in, sneaking in behind the Albany defense and going in, putting the move on Dan Foose and making this game a 4-2 Flames lead.
Fourth time this season that Rico Fata has scored 2 goals in a game. Foose had to be wondering where the heck that guy came from.
Yeah, and once again, we talked about this a couple of games ago, or really why don't they use Rico Fata's speed more away from the puck? And there's a great example right there of dumping it and letting him go get it. This guy is absolutely the fastest guy in the AHL. I really don't think there's anybody that compares to him, and certainly showed it there.
Just stuffed it between the legs of Don Foose. Look out as Owada goes crashing into the net, and Mathieu was out behind the goal. And Owada hit the net, and then Mathieu got upended as the net went crashing into him. Domino effect there.
Yeah, Owada heading towards the net. A little interference by Robbie Concannon. He went down, and Sean Mathieu very lucky. Situation like that, you're unaware of what is coming at you, and the net certainly could have created problems for Mathieu. Good, he's okay, no harm, no foul. Sean Mathieu, I like what this kid's done since his call-up, and as you mentioned, he's here to stay, and that's, I think, a big thing. This guy's well-liked by the St. John fans, his players, everybody likes this kid, and that's a big thing, to have a kid come in, and I think he's going to make a more honest goaltender of Jean-Sébastien Giguère. Giguère has to get his game, he has to be focused about his game. He is still the future for the Calgary Flames. Freddie Brathwaite, of course, playing phenomenal up there. I had a chance to catch his game last week, and just stands on his head night in and night out. But I think Mathieu's play will help Giguère. He needs a little bit of competition. There's been a plethora of goaltenders in here this year, at least 10, and this combination right now bodes well for the Flames going into the playoffs.
Brett McLean and Jeff Staples assisting Sean Mathieu. Had a problem with his strap on his left pad. Brett McLean and Matt Odette will be along during our second intermission with our blockbuster movie review, The Sixth Sense.
Loved it. Excellent movie
Tonight.
Yep. Great job. Yeah.
And we'll also get a sports update from Andy LaRue, and we'll also chat with Rob Concannon, the hero in last night's overtime win. It's coming up during our intermission here on Flames Hockey on Country 94. Mathieu comes out to smother the puck, and then there's a fracas as Owada came in and caused a little bit of contact with the netminder. 4:09 remaining in the second period, and this game is unfolding as we expected it would. The Rats' defense, which is a liability, has been exposed by the speed of Rico Fata. The Rats' goaltending was not up to par, and the Flames have a 4-2 lead. 46 times in 72 games this season, the Rats have scored 3 or fewer goals. Their record in those 46 games, 6 wins, 31 losses, 3 ties, and 6 overtime losses.
Yeah, that's really tough. You have to rely on your goaltender to win you a game like that, and it doesn't happen that often. This team is not very deep offensively, and you take a guy like Steve Kelly and put him back at defense. Get a lot thinner up front.
Here's Petrovicki carrying over the line. Big drive, and he ripped that one wide. Staples hustles to hold in on the left side. He'll get it to Petrovicki in the corner. Petrovicki moving it behind the net for McLean. McLean gets loose on the right side, moves to the slot. It's poked off of his stick, and Lakovic will start back, giving it to Dagenet. It's a 3-on-2. Dagenet in over the line, working it in front. Concannon knocked it away. Now a shot by Brule. The field is saved, and he will cover up. This is an Albany team that, quite frankly, isn't very good.
Nope. No, they aren't. Really, it shows. The record, it shows. Certainly, only the St. John's Maple Leafs have scored fewer goals in the league. And once again, it's uncharacteristic for an Albany team to be that bad. We were wondering around Christmas time, what the heck is happening here? Traditionally pretty good. Traditionally very good in the Empire Division. They were languishing just above the Wilkes-Barre Strand Penguins most of the year. They will make the playoffs, but only because the numbers in that league, but again, not the Albany teams of old, that's for sure.
I'll further emphasize that point in a moment. Braun stepping in front from the right side, and Mathieu makes the save. Breton has the puck for St. John. He'll play it ahead for Jody Shelley. Shelley moves it ahead. Braun kept it alive, then Shelley collides with him, and Scoville is able to flip the puck down ice. Racing after it is Shelley. Maley is back to pick it up. Shelley takes him out behind the net. Bisek plays the puck down ice. Charging after it is David Cuniff, but Sheptak got there and moves it for Breton. Here's Tripp. Trying to get after it in the Albany zone. He was hooked by Maley, and that allows Cuniff to take charge. He'll play it for Rochefort. 2 minutes, 42 seconds remaining in the second period. Flames 4, Rats 2. Puck is played to center. Botterill knocks Bisek to the ice. St. Croix chips it ahead to Tripp. He'll fire it in. Botterill! Breakaway shot! Save! Rebound! Rochefort knocked that one away. There will be an Albany penalty as Kluche whacked Benoit Breton down to the ice. Jason Botterill has been much more effective tonight than he has been in probably any game since he joined the team.
He's getting some scoring chances, making things happen. I mean, this is this guy's a pretty good hockey player, but there seems to be a lot of mule in that horse. This guy was a first-round draft pick by Dallas a couple of years back, and you had to wonder. He bounced around, and we seemed to want him. Came over, of course, in the Nat Domicelli deal, but he's played much, much better tonight. I like that line of Fata, Tkachuk, and Botterill. Botterill with some strength. Tkachuk plays very well down low, and Fata, of course, with that absolutely blazing speed and shot. It's a good combination. Do some damage for the Flames in the stretch and in the playoffs.
Luce started the season in Orlando of the IHL. He played 8 games, had a goal and an assist and 2 points with 21 minutes in penalties. He was traded to New Jersey by Atlanta along with Jeff Williams and a draft pick for Eric Bertrand and Wes Mason on the 1st of November. Luce gets the minor for cross-checking Benoit Breton at 17:31. Flames lead 4-2. Scoville to Petrovicki. Back to Scoville. Left wing half boards Daniel Tkachuk. To the point, Scoville. Over to Petrovicki with a shot. That one bounces to the side of the net. Fata in front, looking for Tkachuk, but the pass is errant, and it's cleared all the way down by David Cuniff. Flames with a 4-2 lead. They're out shooting the River Rats 32-16. Petrovicki moves it for Scoville. He'll step to center and dump it in. Fata's hard after it. Fata controls, moving it for Tkachuk. Rico Fata gets the puck to the point, kept in by Petrovicki. He'll flip it to Scoville. Scoville moves down low into the left corner. In behind the net it comes to Tkachuk, bounces away from him, and ends up out at center. Petrovicki plays it for Tkachuk. Taken away by Brule. He'll send it into the St. John zone. Fata comes up with it there. Flames skate from right to left with 1.5 minutes to go in the second period. They lead 4-2. Darryl Scoville now takes charge. He has 2 assists. Cross ice to Petrovicki. He'll drive it into the left corner. The Flames will make changes on the power play. And Goach will have time to dump it down ice. Awada is offside over 2 lines, but he elects to turn towards the bench, and Mateo will play the puck for McLean, who leaves it for Sheptak. Curtis Sheptak heads up the middle. Now on the left side, he'll drive it in. It ends up in the right corner. McLean picks it up there, working it down low for Tripp. Under a minute to go in the period. Now Kelly has it for the River Rats. 25 seconds to go in the St. John power play. He headmans it for Braun with a shot saved by Mateo, and the puck bounces between his pad and his knee on his left leg. We were talking about the Albany River Rats. This is by far the worst team in Rats history. Albany has 63 points coming into this one. Well on its way to a franchise record for fewest points in a season. The Rats had 84 points in their inaugural season back in 1993-94. That's still better than 500. And Albany, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, is a highly decorated franchise. 4 consecutive division titles and 1 Calder Cup championship in only 6 years in the AHL.
Yeah, pretty good organization. Lou Lamoriello has done a very, very good job. The wealthy Lou Lamoriello, he's got a piece of that sale of the Devils. But yeah, he's done a good job in putting both teams together, the Devils and the River Rats. And once again, bad team this year and very out of characteristic, or not characteristic of the New Jersey Devils.
McLean gets the puck to Benoit Greton. He's in the circle, moves to the front of the net, drops it to Sheptak. His shot bounces in behind the goal. Penalty over. 25 seconds left in the period. McLean gets it to Tripp in the right corner. Back of the net for Benoit Greton. He looks in front, waits, surveys the situation, still has it behind the net. Maintains possession, 13 seconds to go. Greton now skating along the end board. Works in front for St. Croix. Shot! Yeah, who's got a piece of that one? 6 seconds left. St. Croix in behind the goal, plays it for Tripp. Tripp to the point. Sheptak with a shot. In! And the puck is step wide as the period comes to an end. Great chance. But the Flames are denied.
Pretty good puck movement. Not bad by the Flames. And a lot of people yelling when Greton was low behind the net. Shoot, shoot, shoot. I liked his patience. I liked it a lot. You have a lack of defense with the River Rats. And I think he was waiting until someone made a commitment, made a move. And he did. A good pitch from St. Croix from the rear. And a pretty good job by Greton. Flames a little tentative on their shots from the point on the power play. I think that will get better in time. So once again, a pretty good period for the Flames. 34-17 shots overall now. And dominated that period.
18-8 were the shots on goal in favor of the Flames during that second period. They scored 2 to Albany's 1. And after 40 minutes of play, it is the Flames 4 and the River Rats 2. Barry and Jim will be along for those of you watching Primetime Sports on TVNB. For those of you listening to Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94, Brett McLean and Matt Odette will join me next for our weekly blockbuster movie review. The movie tonight is The Sixth Sense, starring Bruce Willis. St. John 4, Albany 2, after 2 at Harbor Station in St. John. This is Primetime Sports on TVNB, Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94.
And welcome back to Harbor Station, where the Albany River Rats are trailing the St. John Flames by a score of 4-2. Jim, Rico flying fat is all I can say here tonight.
Well, we said it right off the top. He's a guy that's got to put his game together. Flames have got 8 games left in the regular season, 4 at home, 4 on the road. Man, the way he's wheeling out there tonight, boys, he wants that first star, and he's going for a hat trick. And like we were sitting there in the stands during that second period going, it's been a while since the Harbor Station faithful have seen a hat trick here at home.
He really burned the Albany defense there in his second goal. They just kind of lackadaisically went in there and figured, we'll just wait for the goaltender to play it, and and then we'll pick it up and carry it out. No way. Bada with those wheels of his, he just went in there and burned them bad.
And the thing is, the criticism, I guess, if you can say against Fata when he first came down here, is that he was a very selfish player, didn't really like to pass the puck all that much, but you were certainly seeing a different Rico Fata as the season winds down, passing the puck a little bit more, his eye presence out there, he's seeing the whole rink now. He's not just got the tunnel vision where he's coming down the wing, he knows where the goaltender is, he knows where his wingman is, he knows where the defensemen are. He's playing a much better all-around game, so Rick Vive and Tommy Watt have got to be ecstatic. Kachuk's been playing a great game tonight. Brett McLean, what more can you say about him? He reminds us so much of Clark Wilm, it's almost scary. He is out there, steady Eddie, always out there playing the puck. So it's great to see this team playing this well heading into the playoffs. And bench minors that they've taken all year long, with Rick Vive trying to do most of the job himself. A lot of people have been critical of Rick behind the bench, but Tommy Watt, ever since he stepped behind there, has really filled a gap, I think, that the Flames needed behind the bench. So, hey, what more can you say? 4-2, 34-17 out shooting the River Rats right now. So we'll see if they hold up for another 20 minutes.
We can't say any more about Sean Mathiel. He's playing sensational out there. That laser beam, as we've been calling him here tonight, has just blew by him. He didn't see it, and one of his defensemen come back to him there, and he said, you know, did you see it? And he's shaking his head saying, no, I didn't see that thing.
Can't stop the ones you can't see, and I mean, that's as basically as you can put it. Like you said, everybody's trying to adapt the Dominik Hasek style, whether it be up in the NHL or down here in the AHL. Everybody's floundering like a fish out there trying to make these big toe saves and heroic saves so they can get on the highlight reel. But Sean Mathiel's a stand-up goaltender, and I think Rick Vive likes that a lot. Jaguar, like we mentioned, hasn't been playing like the Jaguar of old, but if Mathiel can get in there with not a lot of activity, but if he can stand in when Jaguar's not having that great of a game, man, that really helps his team out a whole lot.
Jaguar's more of the butterfly-style goaltender, and you notice that in his pads. They're a little tapered at the top and the bottom, so when he goes down, his knees can come together, and, you know, he's not in the bulky pads. You look at Sean Mathiel's pads, and they're square, they're rectangle. They look like the old Kenny Dryden type of pads that he used to wear, and that just goes to show that he's not a butterfly goaltender. He's a stand-up goaltender. He gets them legs together, and you're not going to get nothing by him, and he covers a lot of net in there.
Well, goaltending was such a big question for the Flames right from the get-go, right out of the gate, the start of the season. Jaguar got called up. Grant Fuhr, of course, had his injury problems in Calgary, so it was a big question mark here. Let's face facts, the Atlantic Division not the strongest division in the AHL, so the Flames really lucked out on that fact, especially with the Maple Leafs not having a great season. Lowell, kind of back and forth right now. Flames lead the division with 72 points, but Lowell breathing down their neck. Quebec, well, I mean, you know, Montreal loses 500-plus man games in La Belle Province, so you knew that Quebec was going to get raped and stripped hard all year long. So this division's still up for grabs, but St. John looks like they turned that corner, finally got everything in place that they need. Let's face it, they had a lot of East Coast talent up here playing for most of the regular season, so they finally look like they've adapted to the league and the style of play, so it's going to be interesting down the stretch to see if they can win the Atlantic Division, want to get that home ice, because they've been playing really well at home lately.
We had a chance to talk to Jean-Sébastien Jaguar and just get some comments from him about his style of play and how the Flames have been playing, so we'll go to that now.
Well, you know, it's just a question of working hard in practice and, you know, going day to day, you know, with a good attitude, you know, positive every day, and that's how it's going to happen. And you know, obviously I got to be confident in myself and positive every game, and I've got no doubt it's gonna happen. You know, before I get called up, you know, I was very consistent. You know, in Calgary I was consistent, so I don't see why right now it wouldn't be consistent. So I just really came back to basic and tried to work as hard as possible in practice.
Great. Going into the playoffs, what are the chances going in first place?
Well, you know, everything is very tight right now, and obviously we haven't had the greatest weekend last weekend, and obviously we need to forget about this last weekend and focus on this weekend. You know, every game is very important. You know, every game means something about that first place. Obviously, it's something we want to have, and we'll do anything possible to get it. Well, obviously, it's a confidence boost. You know, it meant that you finish the season strong, and you know, we're really looking. You know, it's our goal, and you know, if you can achieve your goal before a playoff, you know, it's really important mentally and you know, for confidence.
We have a chance to finish first in our division, so it's important. We got 9 games left in the season, so I think we gotta play every game like it's a must game to win, and with the playoffs coming, you know, we gotta be we need a momentum going for us right now, and it's got to start tomorrow.
And welcome back to Harbour Station, where the St. John Flames are leading the Albany River Rats by a score of 4-2. Around the league tonight, games that some people may be wanting to watch is Portland is at Quebec and Providence is in Lowell. There's some key games there you want to keep an eye on, with Flames only got a 1-point lead on Lowell right now, and Quebec is only 4 points behind the Flames, so it's still anybody's game right now for the Atlantic Division title.
You look at all 3 teams, Quebec, Lowell, and St. John, in the schedules, and you got to give a little bit of an edge to the Flames. They do have a bit of an easier schedule. Providence, man, they're loaded up and ready to go. They want to repeat as Calder Cup champions. Boston not having that great of a year, so Boston took up Cameron Mann. He's playing up there for a while, but you can be guaranteed as soon as Boston is out of the playoff race, still not mathematically eliminated from it yet. A couple of more games, and I think that's going to happen. So Cameron Mann on his way back down. Providence is loaded up and ready to go. So they've got to play Lowell. Lowell's got to play them tonight. They've got a bit tough situation, but you look at the three schedules, you got to give the edge to the Flames to possibly lock up first place and get that home ice advantage.
Also in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey, I'd like to remind you fans that on Primetime Sports on Monday night, from the Coliseum will be the Bathurst Tetons versus the Wildcats in Game 3 of the best of 7 quarterfinal. Moncton's leading that quarterfinal 2-0, and it should be a good game because Moncton won 5-0 and 6-3, so they really had a good hold of Bathurst in the playoffs so far.
Back-to-back games, had to give the boys a little bit of a rest. I mean, you play 2 games like that, especially with emotions running high, Moncton and Acadie, and the boys needed a break. They took, Saturday, and they're taking tomorrow off, and they'll get back to the ice Monday. 7:05 is game time here on TVNB, so that should be a good one. Acadie Bathurst has to really come out with a full-fledged effort tomorrow, or Monday night, I should say. Getting the days a little mixed up here. Monday night, they got to come up with a big game. Really have to show Moncton they're not going to roll over and play dead here because, like we said, the crowds in Moncton have been behind this team, 7,000 plus. So if they don't come out with a good, strong effort, that could be over. That series could be over real quick.
Let's talk briefly about Jason Bowen. He came over from the Hamilton Bulldogs, the Edmonton Oiler franchise. Here's a guy, it's 6'2", 220 pounds. Nice rear guard to have back there. Nice big fella. Last night, hurt his hip in the second period. Didn't quite feel like playing the rest of the game. Rested it. He's back tonight. Playing somewhat of a regular shift out there, but it's hard to beat guys like St. Croix and Scoville out there right now. But he brings a big presence to the team. He's not afraid to get into the rough stuff either. 166 penalty minutes.
No question about it. I mean, you look at the size alone, it's an intimidating factor out there, and that's what you have to do sometimes. You got to bring in those big guys, so when, the boys are taking the pregame skate and looking around and seeing, oh, geez, I got to try to get by him. Good luck. 162 penalty minutes. Exactly. He's not a guy who's afraid to mix it up, get in there, maybe shake things up. When the team comes out, might be a little bit flat in the first period. There's a guy, I think Rick Vive or Tommy Watt could go over to and say, throw a body check, get in there, mess it up a little bit. Yeah, you got to take 2 minutes in the box. No problem. Got to take 5 minutes in the box as long as they get the team fired up. And definitely, he's a presence out there on that blue line. So Flames loaded up because they know that they want to make a good drive for the Calder Cup this year. Come up a buck short the last couple of years, so they're going to see if they can make a good run and a good effort this year.
And the St. John Flames are leading the Albany River Rats by a score of 4-2 from Harbor Station. We'll be right back.
Calgary and Nashville, that game gets underway in about 2 minutes. Edmonton over Vancouver in the late start. On Hockey Night in Canada, this afternoon, Boston will win 7:44 tie with the Kings. Los Angeles scoring 3 goals in the third for the draw tonight. Quebec is losing 2-1 to Portland. Lowell is winning 2-0 over Providence. Kachuk turns and fires just wide of the Albany goal. Neely tried to move it ahead. Bada, who has 2, gets it in behind the net. Brule controls the Rats. They'll fire it off the glass out to center. Scoville is there, and he'll play it across to Sheptak. Sheptak back in his own zone. Gives it to Rico Bada. Bada headmans it to Daniel Kachuk. Kachuk to center, plays it over the line. Neely is there, and the River Rats start back led by Dodgen. Into the St. John zone, dropping it off. Shot fire out for it, and that one's ripped wide. Botterill turns it the other way, giving it to Kachuk. Kachuk brings it over the line. He's taken out by Lakovic. Kachuk stays with it, moves it for Bada. Bada carries down low into the right corner. Rico Bada loses it to Dajane. He got spun around. Kachuk moves in behind the goal. Bada scampers after it. Rochefort got there ahead of him. In reverse direction, playing it for Maley. Chops it ahead, but Kachuk picks it up. To the point, St. Croix with a shot. That one's wide. Bada races after it on the left side. Lakovic gets there first, moves it for Rochefort. River Rats from right to left. Rochefort through center. Dumps it to the St. John line. Staples starts back as the Rats are making changes. He'll fire it in. Now moves us out to make the save, and he steers the puck aside for Kelly. He plays it down ice. This one could be an icing, but here's Williams racing in. Mateo came out of the net, and that's why the icing was waved off by linesman Bobby Jones. Staples in the corner. Plays it ahead. Kelly kept it in with his right skate at the line. Breton took it away. Moves it for Tripp. Tripp over the line. Fakes the shot. Can't work it in front of Wada. Plays it down for Williams. Things have really opened up here. This is not what the Flames want. Nursing a 1-goal lead. Williams dumps it in. Moves behind the St. John net. Benoit Breton gives it to Shelley. He can't clear the zone. Now Sullivan shall. Ahead on the right side, it bounces past Tripp, hits the linesman, comes back to Tripp. He takes the shot, caught by Damphousse, who holds on with 15:03 remaining in regulation. Flames have controlled things territorially, out shooting the Rats 38-18. The Rats are hanging around. McLean on the boards in the Albany zone. The puck bounces out to center. Scoville is there. He steps away from Bisek, steps away from Braun, and gives it to Concannon, who dumps it in behind the net. McLean picks it up along the right side. He'll move it to Petrovicky. Back to McLean in front. McLean dishes off. Concannon on the back end. Can't get the shot on net. McLean forces it towards the net. And Damphousse makes the save, and McLean got dragged down. Earlier in the year. Puck is played all the way down. This will be an icing. Scoville is back to touch up for St. John. Speaking about Lucas Nerling, number 18 of the River Rats. This is his first season after his junior career in the Ontario League. 10 games in the River Rats, 22 games in the United League with Muskegon, 9 games in the East Coast League with Augusta. Nerling was born in Vancouver, Ontario. 20 in August. Pretty big 6'5". Nerling will actually turn 21 in August, so use some quick math. Lucic brings it to Williams at center. It ends up in the St. John's zone. Mateo comes out, pokes it ahead. Not exactly a textbook poke check, but he got the job done. Shelley in neutral territory fires it in. It's wide of the Albany goal. 13 and a half minutes remaining in regulation time. The Flames nursing a 4-3 lead. Goach behind the Albany net. Plays it for Williams, who gets it down ice. Pick it up as Darryl scores. Flames from left to right. Scoville wheels through the neutral zone, carries over the Albany line, down low, in behind the net. Now emerges on the right side. Scoville still has it in the high slot. Dishes off to John Tripp. Wrist shot broken up by Goach. And the Rats come the other way. Goach gives it to Cunnick. Goach got his stick by Staples, and here's Breton racing out for a loose puck, moving in. What a move shot! Oh, big glove save by Damphousse after Breton had danced around the Albany defender, but Damphousse comes up with a larcenous. Big save as he flashes the leather on Benoit Breton.
Benoit picking up that air pass. Again, going in, as you mentioned, dinking the Albany defender and on goaltender down. Great save by Albany. Albany snap puck out. Pass ball by Grandma. Big save by Chris
Save to make as well. With the forward charging in at him. You want to try and make the save, protect yourself. Got it. Gets the puck to center, ends up deep in the St. John zone. Back to save. Lakovic throws the hip into him. The Flames start back. McLean creates a 3-on-2, gives it to Petrovicki down the right wing, shot.
Nice job, good chance there, and once again, Brett McLean getting the puck to Ron Petrovicki. And there's a good example of a very inexperienced defense out there. Once again, Petrovicki just going wide, being laid on a little bit by the Albany defense, but getting the shot between the 5-hole. The Flames jump into that big 5-3 lead. That's a big goal for the Flames. Once again, take a little momentum away from the River Rats.
Gets beaten 5-hole by Ronald Petrovicki.
Good shot.
Petrovicki last year had 12 goals. That's his 20th. And this is sophomore season. McLean and Sullivan the assists. Finally goal 7-27. Here's Botterill bringing it up the left wing. He carries over the line. Botterill with his shot. Boots knocked that one aside. Bada can't come up with it, and Dagenet moves it ahead for Bisek. He hustles into the St. John zone. And offside on the Rats as it was poked away by a Flame defender. 42-18 now the shots on goal. The Flames with a 5-3 lead over the River Rats.
They've had their chances, no ifs, ands, or buts. Just have to bury them, and Petrovicki showed it there. Love what this guy's done in the second half of the season. Came back from that finger injury. Ron Petrovicki's playing a very, very important part on this hockey team. He's a physical presence. He's got good wheels. Rick 5 uses him on the point on the power play. He's killed some penalties, but he's done a very, very good job. Once again, the second half of the season, Ron Petrovicki's really coming into his own.
Flames have reacted well after that Kluche goal. Brought the Rats to within one. Chris St. Croix has the puck. Steps to center, got rubbed out by Williams. Maley drops it back for Goach. He'll fire it ahead. It ends up back in the Albany zone. Goach controls. He'll step in behind his net. 11 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in regulation time. Flames on top 5-3. Shelley back at the St. John line. Plays it ahead. Laid offside against the River Rats, and play is stopped.
We talked earlier about the Mid-Atlantic Division. Philadelphia leading that. They clinched the playoff spot the other night with 87 points. Hershey with 86, Kentucky with 86, and Louisville not that far behind with 80 points. So it's a real dogfight in the Mid-Atlantic. We talked about the Empire, which Albany are a part of Rochester running away with it, 94 points. Very, very good team. Only 2 losses in their last 10, and Hartford are really on a roll in the New England division, 96 points, 6 ahead of Portland with 90.
Second time in their last 14 games, the Flames have scored 5 or more goals. Hunnip brings it up the middle, now into the St. John zone, moving it for Lakovic. He fakes the shot, drops it off for Rochefort. Back to Lakovic down low. He'll work it in front. It's loose. And Mathiel is able to cover up as Braun was being tied up by Petrovicki.
They're really not finding a lot of chances for the River Rats tonight, but there was one right there, created by Sasha Lakovic, and Braun, as you mentioned, in front of the net, but good reaction by Sean Mathiel. He had 18 shots tonight, 3 goals, 1 I think he'd like to have back, but Mathiel's looked pretty good since he's come here, and once again, the goaltending situation, after being such a bad situation earlier in the year, even had to dress Rick Fourier from St. Stephen. Once again, the Flames really coming around. 2 very good goaltenders in camp right now, and they're solid at that position for the rest of the year.
Bisek with a shot blocked by Graton. Bisek gets it back, plays it in front for Dagenet, and Mathiel makes the save on the quick spin-around snapshot.
I noticed Sean Mathiel sitting way back in the crease, and that's basically where you want to be if a team is working the puck down low. You don't really want to get outside and have a chance to get bumped, and he did exactly what he's supposed to do and set back, and no rebound on that shot. So very, very good save by Mathieu.
Benoit Breton was shaken up on the play, and he's receiving some attention from Brian Miller on the St. John bench. I don't think it's anything too serious, though, because Ronald Petrovicki was laughing, and he gave Breton a pat on the rear end. Point shot kicked out by Mathieu. Rebound sent in front. Maley's in there deep. He'll work it down low in the left corner. Brule loses it, and Daniel Tkachuk has it for St. John, feeding it for Rico Fata. Fata had it knocked off of his stick. Brule back over the St. John line, sends it to the left corner. Fata is there. He'll play it off the end boards. Sheptak whacks it ahead for Botterill. He clears the zone. Botterill plays it deep into Albany territory. 10.5 minutes remaining in regulation time. It's St. John 5, Albany 3. Dagenet gets it to Kluche in front of the Albany bench. He'll play it ahead. St. Croix is there, and he dumps it deep. Danfus is out behind the net, leaving it for Sasha Goch. 42-20, the Flames out shooting the River Rats. They chased Frederic Henry. Jean-Francois Danfus has come on in relief. Flames have a 5-3 lead. Lowell is winning as the Rats go offside over 2 lines. And now we get a pushing and shoving match involving Kluche and Sullivan. And we're likely going to get our first penalties of the third period from Tim Peel. The Rats showing their frustration. They're 10 minutes away from another loss. 5-3 Flames. This is Primetime Sports on TVNB and Baxter's Flames Hockey on Country 94. Shot in one of those areas where you don't like to block shots. The midsection, perhaps. Maybe that's why Ronald Petrovicki was laughing at him, but Breton seems to be okay. There are coincidental penalties assessed here to Kluche and Sullivan, so the teams will play 4 skaters aside. Roughing minors at the 10-minute mark. And Braun, trying to take advantage of the open ice, moves in and shoots it wide. Williams tried to dig it loose from the side of the net. His wraparound attempt is foiled by Mathieu. Puck is loose. It comes to the high slot. Rochefort can't keep it in. Back at his own line, Kelly flips it for Williams. He's an alternate captain. He's flattened by Scoville, and that allows Petrovicki to feed it ahead. Brett McLean skating in. McLean can't get the shot away as Danfus knocked it aside. McLean in the slot. Sheptak with a blast. That one's off the high glass. Sheptak plays it for McLean. In front, here's Staples. Wrist shot blocked. Staples gets it back, fires it in front, and Petrovicki tips it just wide. Initially, I don't think Sheptak realized he had as much time as he did. He could have stopped that puck and taken a higher percentage shot. Here's Rochefort moving in with a blast and a pad save by Mathieu. Brule works it in front. Petrovicki is there, and he'll give it to Daniel Tkachuk. Tkachuk skates through the neutral zone, carries over the line. He's got Fata. Tkachuk for Fata. That was broken up by the defender, Dagenet, and then the puck is shot into the seats behind the Albany bench. 4-on-4, really opening things up here in the third.
Yeah, they sure are. Nice save. Pad save by Sean Mathieu. Very, very quick pad out. And once again, I love the way that this kid plays those low shots. Very aggressive and absolutely no hesitation. And then another chance by Daniel Tkachuk. Look what that line's done tonight. He and Rico Fata work so well together. Tkachuk, very, very smart hockey player. He needs to build up the upper body strength. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Tom Watts said that himself. And, he'll do that over the summer. But Rico Fata, of course, opens up all kinds of opportunities for anybody that plays with him. And Tkachuk had a good chance there.
Face-off to the left. Jean-Francois Danfus. Face-off controlled by the Rats. Maley, watched by Fata, bounces it off the end boards for Sasha Goch. He'll return it quickly to David Maley. Ahead for Lakovic. Lakovic brings it up the right side, cuts to the middle, still has the puck, playing it now for Bisek, over the line for Lakovic, back to Bisek, moving in with a shot, Mathiel the save, Fata on the rebound, giving it to Daniel Tkachuk. He'll drop it in the neutral zone. Fata wasn't expecting that, and Lakovic the other way, moving in, Lakovic with a backhand, and that one misses the net, and Fata is able to bring it up ice 2-on-2 with Tkachuk. Now Tkachuk, the puck carrier, over the line, Tkachuk waiting, looking, dishing off to Fata. Fata in the high slot with a shot, pad save. Tkachuk can't get to the rebound as Goch comes up with it. Tkachuk trips him, steals the puck, then he got clocked by Lakovic as Bisek plays the puck to center. Teams are at full strength, and it's an offside pass ahead to Kluche, who had just come out of the penalty box. David Maley will turn 37 next month. He has over 400 games of NHL experience with Montreal, New Jersey, Edmonton, San Jose, and the New York Islanders. He's a potential candidate for the Fred T. Hunt Award that's given each year to the player who shows great perseverance and dedication to the game. He hasn't played in the last 3 seasons, but decided to come back, return to pro hockey this season, 54 games with the Rats.
Played in the 85-86 Stanley Cup champion, a Montreal Canadiens.
St. Croix back in his own zone, turns away from Lewis, gets it ahead for Benoit Gratton, now for Jody Shelley, he'll work it in. Back after it is Kelly. Shelley runs into him, Rochefort from behind the Albany net plays it on the right side. Kept alive by Tripp, under 7.5 minutes remaining in regulation, Flames 5, Albany 3. Kelly feeds it ahead for Williams. Cross ice at center, Shelley is back at the St. John line. Takes a hit from Kluche. Gratton into Albany territory. He's knocked down. Puck comes to Shelley. He works it towards the net. Kelly turns it away. Shelley hammers him. Gratton moving in behind the Albany goal. Benoit Gratton rubbed out by Kelly. He gets it back. Plays it for Tripp. It goes just wide. Tripp in front. Shelley loose. Backhand goal!
And you got to love that. Good hard work by that line. Those guys worked very, very hard. And once again, Jody Shelley rewarded with his first goal of the year. Great job by Gratton, Johnny Tripp, and Shelley hanging around out front. And once again, that's what you do. The big guys have to go to the net. Jody Shelley did that and had a chance and snuck it behind Jean-Francois Danfous. But the goal for Jody Shelley, and it looks good on the big guy.
All smiles on the Flames bench. First place in the division, 6-3 lead over the Rats, under 7 minutes remaining in the game. Anxious moments when Kluche scored early in the third to make it a 1-goal game, but overall the Flames have dominated, and the score is quite indicative of the way things have unfolded tonight.
Yeah, and I like what the team has done offensively, a couple of lapses defensively, and once again, I guess you're going to find that from time to time. Focus is such a big thing back there in your own end, but offensively this team has moved the puck well. And a big goal by Jody Shelley. Great to see the big guy get his first of the year, and it really came from hard work from that line. Good job by Gratton and Johnny Tripp, who I thought played a very good game so far here tonight. He has a goal already, picked up an assist on the goal by Shelley. And Johnny Tripp has really come into his own. Like his improved skating. It's a big part of his game now, and really not afraid to go to the net. Not afraid to get involved offensively. I'd like to see him use his size a little bit more defensively, especially in his own end, and maybe that'll come. But that line having a very good goal of it tonight, and capped off by Jody Shelley's first goal of the year. That's a big one.
Face off to the right of Danfous. Scoville plays it in behind the net. Racing after it is Botterill. Dagen gets the puck out to center. St. Croix moves it for Tkachuk. He got his stick up and caught Dagenet in the face. Botterill sends it into the zone. Fata racing after it. Kelly moves in behind the net. Now Nerling and Botterill are going to fight. Botterill loses his helmet. Nerling comes in after him. Botterill lands a solid right. And Botterill wrestles Nerling to the ice. 6:04 remaining in third. It's 6-3 Flames. This is Primetime Sports on TPNB. Bastards Flames Hockey on Country 94. Fighting majors, a likely call here. Nerling and Botterill at 13:56. Flames 1 point up on Lowell entering tonight's action. The Lock Monsters are leading Providence 2-0. The last report we had from the Songus Arena.
Oh, this could go down to the last weekend of the season like it did last year. And interesting, St. John Flames, a bunch of home games coming up. And once again, you want to take them one game at a time. Look ahead, of course, to Maple Leafs coming in. A team you can and should beat this Wednesday night. Always a good rivalry between these two squads.
Puck ends up in the St. John zone. Racing back to get it is St. Croix. He'll move it for Scoville. Scoville flips it ahead. Puck is loose in the high slot. It bounces towards the Flames net. Scoville picks it up and brings it up ice. Scoville gets it to Tkachuk. Tkachuk down the right side. Slides it in front. Fata tipped it. And Domfus kicked out the left pad to make the save. Fata along the left wing boards. Can't come up with it. And Bisek brings it up ice. He'll play it for Dagenet. Broken up by Sheptak. And Tkachuk turns it the other way. Down the left wing. Daniel Tkachuk. Big drive. And Domfus makes the save.
Domfus out about 3 or 4 feet above the blue, above the crease. Nice shot by Daniel Tkachuk, and there you go. Like to see Daniel Tkachuk shoot a lot more, and there he did. And took a good save by Domfus to keep the puck out. But Daniel Tkachuk having a pretty good game here tonight. The Flames overall this evening, pretty good offensively. 47 shots on the combination of Frederic Henry and Jean-Francois Domfus. And they showed lots of offensive prowess, and once again, that's the key for this team. We've got a couple of East Coasters in the lineup, and they contributed well. So overall, I like the contribution offensively of just about everybody in the lineup here tonight.
Flames defense played well, surrendering only 23 shots. Obviously, this is an anemic offense from Albany, but after Bowen went down in the first period, tightened up.
Yeah, good to see everyone step it up, and I think that's the key. A guy like Bowen goes down who is a physical presence. He's a big guy out there, and you really count on him. Some guys have really, once again, stepped it up from the second period on.
Tripp drives the puck into Albany territory. Under 5 minutes remaining. It's a 6-3 Flames romp. Breton has it in the left corner. Breton skates along the board, sends it in behind the net. Maley comes up with it. Maley skates away from Breton, plays it ahead. Lewis unable to clear. Now he'll get another opportunity. And he'll sidestep Shelley and bring it up ice. Back behind the St. John net, Staples has it for the Flames. Edmans it for Tripp. Tripp cross ice for Breton. He loses it, now feeds it ahead. Tripp will race after it into Albany territory. It ends up deep in the corner. Tripp bodies Kelly. Tripp in behind the net, looking in front. Tripp loses it to Rochefort, and he's in behind the goal. Rochefort gives it to Cunniff on the right side. Awada moves it back to Cunniff, top of the circle with his shot. That one misses the mark, and we've got another fight. Jeff Sullivan pounding on George Awada, and that was a one-sided scrap, and Sullivan just made a plethora of right hands, knocks Awada to the ice. 4 minutes even remaining in the game. Flames up 6-3. This is Bastards Flames Hockey.
played a pretty good hockey game tonight and really wound up. Here's Brett McLean, a little tap on the way out, and Jeff Sullivan's part of this hockey team, and he feels pretty good about it. I mean, I'm not saying that strapping is everything, but once again, his morale. The morale on this team seems to be a lot better than it was going into these weekend games.
Jeff Sullivan is now in the dressing room with under 5 minutes remaining in regulation time, but he'd be well advised not to hit the showers just yet because he could be one of the 3 stars tonight.
Played very well.
McLean sends the puck over the glass into the seats, and now we've got Skurlak decking Petrovicki, and Petrovicki comes back at him. Petrovicki and Skurlak, and the linesmen are going to intervene quickly, thinking that that was a mismatch in size, but Petrovicki showing that he's not going to back down from Rob Skurlak, who's 6'5", 240. Petrovicki, 5'11", 190. But Petrovicki gave it to Skurlak after he sucker punched him.
Yeah. This is a big kid, Skurlak, and over 200 minutes, 4 years straight out in the Western Hockey League. So he's a big boy and no stranger to the penalty box. But I'll tell you, Ronald Petrovicki doesn't back down from a lot of people. He's a tough kid. He played very, very good, strong game here tonight offensively, and is never a liability defensively. Ronald Petrovicki can play both ends of the ice, and he's wound up again. He's looking at, whoa,
now we've got a fight, Lewis and Staples, and now we've got Petrovicki getting jumped by Kluche. So 2 fights on the ice, and Petrovicki winds up on top of Kluche, and Lewis and Staples are pounding away on him. So the Rats showing their frustration here, losing their cool, and just for good measure, they're losing the bout as well.
Go to Carlisle Lewis and Jeff Staples. We talked about Lewis earlier from Middleton, Nova Scotia. Played for the Halifax Blue Jays last year, 425 minutes of penalties. He's a tough kid.
Now Kluche wants to move from the plane, and the linesman had to try and hold him back. And Staples, who was heading off, now comes back to intervene. And McLean wants a piece of Kluche, who tried to grab him long after the fact. So Kluche showing personal class.
Absolutely.
And Lewis was already towards the bench, and Tim Field waves him off. But Kluche being tied up by Tim Skinner, he just grabbed McLean, and now Kluche blocks his jersey, trips on the jersey, and tumbles to the ice.
Red insult to injury.
Skinner, and now Kluche's going to put on a gong show, and Field comes over and grabs him. Kluche starting to disrobe.
Good job all night refereeing. I thought he said he controlled the game last night as well as tonight, and escorting Kluche, talking him down. Dave Mealy over there also. And once again, the best thing to do is to get Kluche off the ice. Let Cooler head for Mill, takes up hands, giving it to Kluche right now. As you mentioned, Aaron, he just basically lost it. And that does happen sometimes when a team is not playing very well and you're getting beat on the road. Northerly trek for Kluche, not very good. He's escorted to the dressing room.
Well, McLean was just skating by, and Kluche tried to whack him.
Well, if it wasn't McLean, it could have been anybody else. Once again, I think Kluche just kind of lost it. And once again, that's not a good thing that kind of happened. Somebody yelling for Rocky Thompson. A long yell to Louisville. But again, Kluche gone from the game tonight. 3:35 left. Flames in control, 6-3.
Petrovicki handled himself quite nicely, I thought, considering Skurlak whacked him in the back of the head with a sucker punch in the corner, and then Kluche came over and jumped him. And then Staples, who came to Roach's aid last Saturday night in St. John's, fought with Carlisle Lewis.
Well, Petrovicki, I'll tell you something, don't take this kid for granted. He is a tough hockey player. I like what this kid has been doing offensively and defensively. I've said it all along, and really he's just under 6 feet, but a strong kid, very, very good shape, of course. You have to be that to play this game, and Petrovicki, as you mentioned, Aaron, handled himself very, very well. He's a tough kid, and he showed it there.
George Ferguson on the ice, trying to accumulate some of the carnage that remains on the ice. Sticks and gloves. Be a commotion down there behind the Flames bench.
I think the band's just a little wound up. They're seeing a pretty good hockey game. A little bit of a sleeper in the first period, but again, the Flames taking over in the second. And after that goal to make it 4-3, Flames really taking total control of the hockey game.
And the biggest thing, I think, the Flames have 3 home games left.
Yep.
Wednesday against the 4 home games left. Wednesday against the Leafs, Friday against Quebec, the following Wednesday against the Leafs, the following Friday against Quebec. Dave Roach talked about it here during our first intermission. The Flames want home ice advantage. They want to win the Atlantic Division title, and they want to make this a difficult place in which to play.
Well, and I think they're showing that tonight. And once again, it's hard to put the barometer in when your opposition is the Albany River Rats, but still, the Flames really had a job to do tonight, and they came in and did it. There's decent goaltending from Mathiel. Got beat on one long shot. Really will let that go. But I like what they've done defensively for the most part. Lost a little bit of focus sometimes in the first period, and a couple of times there on after. But a little commotion under the runway, and the Flames bench not sure what's going on there. But once again, they did what they had to do offensively, and pretty good contribution. Jody Shelley getting his first goal of the year tonight. Rico Fata just unconscious, playing very, very well. Started with a great shot that beat Henry and basically chased him, and then the big dump in from Sullivan, and chasing down that puck, past 2 defenders, and once again showing that blazing speed, and that speed kills. And Rico Fata, just a huge raw talent, and he showed it here tonight. A good offensive support from all the Flames really here tonight.
Tim Peel is forced to sort this mess out with 3:35 remaining in the hockey game, and the Flames leading the River Rats 6-3. Rico Fata has 2 goals. Jody Shelley, Ronald Petrovicki, John Tripp, Jason Botterill have singles. Stanislav Braun, Pierre Dagenet, Sylvain Cloutier, goal scorers tonight for the River Rats. It's a 6-3 St. John lead. We remind those of you watching Primetime Sports on TVNB, the Wildcats and the Acadie Bathurst Tetons will renew their first round Quebec Major Junior Hockey League Series this week. Wildcats with a pair of wins in Bathurst to take a 2-0 lead in that series.
And the other series, the Halifax Mooseheads, up 2-0, or yep. Interesting, they've got a pretty good squad this year, of course, for hosting the Memorial Cup in May, and Moncton Wildcats looking pretty good. Well-rated team. They're going to get good goaltending from La Jeunesse. Former Moncton Wildcat goaltender here tonight, Jean-Francois Damphousse, of course, for the Albany River Rats. He was very good his tenure with the Wildcats, and the Jersey Devils think a lot of him.
But he struggled this year. That's why he was in the East Coast League.
Yeah, and once again,
it's a big step from the Quebec Major Junior League to the American Hockey League.
Well, it's a massive step, and once again, goaltenders, different goaltenders develop at different times in their career. You look at someone like Dwayne Rollison, you know, some of the younger goaltenders, Martin Brodeur, when he came into the league, was exceptionally good. Patrick Waugh, there's another one. But once again, you'll get some late bloomers. And Damphousse, very, very quick, very good. And obviously, the New Jersey management sees something that they like in this kid. Once again, I think he's got a future, at least in the AHL, maybe in the NHL. We will see down the road. Back to the point at hand, the Flames 6-3 lead here tonight. And once again, this is a game you couldn't take for granted. And the Flames didn't put 6 up on the board, and that's the key, I think. Once again, not to go on and on about the point, but I love the fact that these guys put the puck in the net tonight. They've got all kinds of chances. 47 shots so far with 3:35 left to play, and they're getting contribution from a couple of guys who they normally wouldn't get. Again, Jody Shelley, Jason Botterill, Johnny Tripp with a goal and assist here tonight, and I say good contribution offensively from most of this hockey team here tonight.
Flames season high for shots in a game is 51, set on October the 23rd in a 4-3 win over the Maple Leafs here at Harbor Station. The Flames are going to even the season series against the Rats. Here are the penalties.
4 minutes for running and 10 minutes for conduct. Number 29, Carlisle Lewis, 5 minutes for fighting. Number 14, Sylvain Cloutier, 2 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting, and 10 minutes for conduct, and a game for conduct. To the state of number 18, Ronald Petrovicki, 2 minutes for running, 5 minutes for fighting, and a 10 minutes for conduct. To number 5, Jeff Davis, 5 minutes for fighting. And number 15, Brad Blaine, 4 minutes for robbery and 10 minutes for conduct.
cancel out. The teams are at full strength as Cunniff drives it in. It's caught by Mateo. Scoville plays it ahead. Fata gets it up ice. Jody Shelley is out there now, and you can expect that he'll see plenty of ice time here in the waning moments. Now he and Bisek mix it up, and Shelley's going to get a slashing penalty. Bisek's going to get one as well. So Jody Shelley showing the River Rats, if you're going to mess around with our little guys, we'll mess around with your little guys. Not that Petrovicki is a small guy, and he certainly proved that he could take care of himself, but nevertheless, Skurlak is certainly a mismatch in size going up against Petrovicki. So Shelley mixes it up with Bisek. Shelley, though, has been gassed from the game. It looks like Bisek and Shelley are both gone. That should have just been minor penalties for slashing, but Tim Peel, maintaining law and order, gives them misconducts as well.
Well, once again, I think the Flames want to stay away from the silly stuff and finish off this game. You certainly don't need any chance of picking up any injury, any suspension. Keep it clean. 3:04 left. Let's get this 3:04 done. Once they get out of here, take the 2 points, and look forward to the St. John's Maple Leafs arriving here Wednesday. And once again, the teams usually have pretty heated rivalries, and the Flames really, Dave Roach, once again, he's the captain of this team, and I hope and really wish that we don't see any type of retribution. Go out and play the game. But this is a game coming up on Wednesday night. You need the 2 points. Again, the Flames want this home ice advantage, and there's a good chance Wednesday night to pick up 2.
Roughing minors and 10-minute misconducts to Bisek and Shelley at 16:56. John Cunniff has got to be thinking, here we go again, another long night for his team. This has just been a bad season for the River Rats all year long, and what do they have to look forward to but a first-round encounter with those dreaded Rochester Americans. The teams are actually 4-on-4 here because of the minors and the misconducts. Dagenet is after the puck into the corner. Scoville takes him out. And the puck comes to Daniel Tkachuk. He'll give it to Rico Fata. He's got 2 down the left wing. Looking for 3, but Damphus makes the pad save on the slap shot by Fata. Roach Hort ahead for Brule. 2:22 to go in the game. He crisscrosses over the line, fakes the shot, moves into the corner, fires it off the side of the net. It's in behind the goal from Cannon. Plays it for Tkachuk. St. John bench is a pretty lonely place. Breton, Tripp, St. Croix, and Scoville. And Giguère are the only players in uniform on the bench right now with 2 minutes remaining in the game. Kelly from the point with a shot. Caught and held by Mathieu. 6-3 is the score.
Rick Vaive has to be happy with what he's seen tonight. Once again, you didn't finish this team off as early as you might like to have, but once again, a pretty good third period for the Flames. 34 shots after 2. They have 48 with 1:59 left here in the hockey game. And once again, defensively, a couple of faux pas earlier, but we'll give them that. And overall, and you have to like what most of the Flames have done defensively tonight. And you mentioned Jeff Sullivan. Yeah, I like the way this kid's played tonight. Kirby Sheptak, very good game last night, and once again, pretty good here tonight. And he's been a nice surprise, I think, for the St. John Flames.
Petrovicki with a goal tonight, his 20th of the season. He now has 20 points in his last 18 games, including this one tonight. Braun steps over the Flames line with a shot that's high. Scoville starts back, and he'll bring it ahead, feeding it to Fata. Moving in, puts on the brakes, loses the handle. The Flames would love to give Fata that hat-trick goal. 1.5 minutes remaining. Braun into the right corner. Braun looking in front of the St. John net. St. Croix's all over him. Braun still with possession. St. Croix can't get it out. Now Goach for Williams. Shot wide. Maley off the inboard. Centers. Breton is there, and he'll flip it ahead. It bounces to Grand to the point. Goach with a shot. Kicked out by Mathieu's right pad. And the Flames get it to center. Goach loses it. Breton comes up with it. He's got Fata with him. Breton moving in, but Fata a little over anxious. It's ahead of the play, and it's offside with 1:02 remaining in period number 3, and the Flames up 6-3.
Calgary Flames in Music City tonight to play the Predators, and their hopes are pretty well all but gone as far as making the playoff this year, but they'll be evaluating the players that they have to look towards next year, see what type of team they're going to put together, who they're going to keep, who they're going to let go. 2 some new teams coming into the league, of course. Minnesota and Columbus. It should be interesting. There will be some changes, no doubt, throughout this organization. It'll be interesting to see, once again, who Calgary has moved on their depth chart.
Quick tabulation of the penalty minutes, and I have 148. That is an unofficial count on my score sheet.
That's a lot.
And the ball coming here in the third. Kelly gets the puck ahead, and Cannon plays it back into the Albany zone. 40 seconds left in this one. The Flames are going to maintain sole possession of first place in the Atlantic Division. Dagenet offside at center as he was hoping to break in on a breakaway, looking to pick a cherry there at center ice. 34.7 seconds remaining in this game. 6-3, the Flames lead. Last score we had from Lowell. The Lock Monsters were leading Providence 2-0. Last score we had from Quebec, the Citadels were losing to Portland 2-1. If Quebec loses, Flames will be 6 points ahead of them, and that might pretty much do it as far as Quebec's chances of finishing in first place are concerned.
Yeah, and they're home against Worcester tomorrow, and they are certainly no pushover. Be interesting to see.
Worcester in a holding pattern, though, likely going to finish third, unable to catch Portland for second in the New England Division. Here's Fado with another chance on the right wing, over the line with a shot. That one snapped just wide. Scoville keeps it in at the left point. It comes to Rico Fado, 13 seconds remaining. Back to Scoville, he'll flip it to the corner. Kachuk is after it, Fado to the front of the net with a shot. That one was blocked. And the River Rats will play it all the way down, but it's back-to-back wins for the Flames. The first place Flames. The St. John Flames win their 30th game of the year. 74 points now for the Flames, temporarily free up and perhaps more importantly, they're 6 points up on Quebec. So they'll fire to third in the Atlantic Division standings. Pretty strong performance tonight from the goaltender out for the St. John Flames, and they take advantage of an undermanned Albany team, and they post a 6-3 win.
I like it. Everybody likes it. Rick Five likes it. The players like it. Why wouldn't you like it? It's a good performance. The team you had to beat, and you beat. Really, no ifs, ands, or buts. A couple of miscues early, but once again, I like the overall performance of this team tonight. You mentioned a couple of guys. Rico Fada, very, very good game. Offensive threat most of the night. And once again, this guy has so much raw talent. And I like what that line did. Botterill played very, very well. You mentioned that earlier. Good overall performance.
Here are the three stars. Throughout the third.
They were, and a good job. And once again, Rico didn't hurt him on defense either tonight, and I like that from Rico. He's learning how to play both ends of the ice, but I think a good choice in the first star. He certainly was an offensive threat all night, and once again, a pretty good, complete game. Your choice of Jeff Sullivan. Tell me what you thought of Jeff tonight.
Jeff Sullivan had 2 assists. He was a +4, and he had a fight for good measure there late in the hockey game when he battled George Awada and won that scrap convincingly. This is a guy who isn't on the playoff roster. He's very much aware of that. He was disappointed, I'm sure, that he didn't get a chance to get into the lineup last weekend in St. John's. Of course, it's his hometown. He was sent back to Johnstown, but he returned to the fold yesterday and performed well tonight. He certainly had to step up after Bowen was out with an injury again.
Yeah, and I like what this kid's done. He's playing a more of a complete game. Certainly not a liability in his own end. When he has to chip the puck out, he chips it out. He's certainly not afraid to move the puck up over the blue line and up to the forwards. And you have to love that kind of quiet confidence that this guy's developing. And Jeff Sullivan, a pretty good game here tonight. You picked Darryl Scoville as the third star. Darryl Scoville's always a force back for the St. John Flames. You mentioned Boeing going down, and once again, Darryl Scoville has to step it up, and he does just that. And he had a good game for Scoville.
I hope not too much. I mean, it was always one of the best between the two teams. Toronto rivalry and just coming down to each other. I'm excited for Wednesday's game, and I'm sure everybody else will be. Just happy to go up there and do my best.
Flames forward Rico Bata, first start tonight as the Flames beat the Albany Riverman 6-3. Back upstairs to Barry Johnson.
Win by a score of 6-3 here at Harbor Station. The Flames are now on a two-game roll as they are going to take on the St. John's Maple Leafs coming up on Wednesday at 7:30 here at Harbor Station. 74 points. Wait for the outcome of the Lowell Lock Monsters and the Quebec game later on tonight to see where they stand in the division. As it stands right now, they are 3 points up on the Lowell Lock Monsters. Coming up next for the Flames will be the St. John's Maple Leafs right here at Harbor Station at 7:30. For Jim Hennessy, I'm Barry Johnson, and thank you for watching Prime Time Sports here on TVMD.